Good evening. Happy Sunday evening to everyone. It is September 24th at 11:49 Eastern Time. Sorry I was a little bit late. I had to gather some paperwork and some other stuff. I had to run a few errands, but I wanted to go ahead and go live about something that I felt was important. I This is not a typical stream for me. I'm not one of the dragging queens. The Caps and the Bull Hands, the Thedan Islanders, and the Damones. I'm not a typical dragging queen. They are the dragging queens of the community, and I think that. It's not necessarily my forte to go in on things that I don't have much information about or an understanding about, particularly when it comes to the processes, constitutional processes, rules of evidence, and things like that. But that's their uh, uh, forte. That's their specialty. But what I do have a specialization in is listening to things and hearing people, much like Tommy Boy Studios. But now, since we do predict that Tommy Boy Studios will be completely radio silent on this issue that has cropped up in the last couple days, we felt it necessary to fill in the void. We have very little confidence as a former member of Du Bois and probably active member of other boys clubs. Tommy Boy Studios is a little bit of a conflict of interest, let's say, in addressing some of these things. He's a little bit too connected into the community, as well as entrenched, as Mandingo FCC would used to say about me, nonetheless. But Tommy Boy Studios is a little bit conflicted, a little bit entrenched. He doesn't have the ability to take on his friends, right? And certainly he has a lot of friends that he stays away from. As I said before in a prior stream, he selects his targets, selective targeting, easy targets, low risk, high reward. And obviously, none of them could be his friends that he communicates with offline in Discord servers and Slacks and Instagram and text messages, which is fine. I mean, but just be truthful about it, right? Don't lie about it. Another irritant is when people claim that they don't watch when they do watch, when it doesn't matter to them, when it does matter to them. So we're going to get into some stuff here tonight. I may or may not send out the link for some panel guests. I know that it's been a hot topic in the background. I got a lot of messages, no joke, and I sort of didn't really want to address this until I saw that people weren't addressing it and they were messaging me about what they heard. And something that came up on NVCap Fireside a few nights ago, in which there was a discussion about, I believe there was a discussion about prostitution. And of course, NVCap Ryan was giving his opinion about prostitution. He knows it very well. He knows even potentially he's pointed at people that he believes are users of prostitution, not just prostitution themselves as a concept, but he seems to be able to point towards people that he believes, right, in his mind, that people that he believes are users of prostitutes, which he has pointed his finger at me. And then he's denied it, and I don't have time to go back and watch 5,000 hours of streams like Tommy Boy does. But we got an easy one tonight for Tommy Boy Studios if he wants to cover this. Just a couple nights ago, with the timestamps, with the information, we had a conversation, odd, bizarre, pop up in a channel on NVCap Fireside with Jimbo, otherwise known as formerly Damone, who I don't have a lot of interaction with. I am not a friend of his. Have not really been on a panel with him. Don't know him at all. But he's one of these people that is very, very connected in the community, almost reminiscent of a Ray Ray. He gives off those vibes, even though Damone threw out, kicked out, tossed out Ray Ray from his Discord server months ago for communications with the other side. they give off the same vibes together as far as their connectedness. And I used a term. Shout out to JT Colfax, who did a little video earlier today, and I posted a comment on that video. What I would term is too big to fail, right? There's a personality in this community that is too big to fail. And I would say that Jimbo is one of those personalities that no matter what he does, no matter what he says, he's too big to fail. And he's very connected on the in all types of different areas, and he has a lot of support. I would say that, dare say, let's call them handlers, and that's fine. That's good. And no doubt the handlers are going wild potentially today and yesterday, and when this comment sort of got passed up, but because of the topic that it dealt with female pedophilia, as well as some other topics that people know that I care about and sort of spotlight and put exposure to. They thought that I would be interested in listening. So, I got sent some information and I went back and listened and watched. And earlier today, I posted a clip of what I saw as part of that stream on IndyCap Fireside. Now, let's go back for some historical context of some of these characters. Ryan, IndyCap Fireside, Detective Ryan, the one that in the spring slammed that red button and was a warrior against what he believed was insufficient information about Ed and his can't say charges. Ed's situation from 3 years prior about the raid and the documents, the thing. Ryan slammed that red button, and he was promoted and glorified for slamming that red button as inside the community. And, has been, a warrior, slamming that red button everywhere that he can get a chance. But sometimes he misses that red button. Sometimes he really misses that red button. And I'm here to press that red button tonight on a panic that we have some information that came up on this stream, on nonetheless his stream, that a question was posed. And the question wasn't posed as if it was for you knew what the questioner's opinion of the matter was, but he was too scared to, or I don't know how to describe it. He was too, he knew that there could be maybe some, but he was nibbling at it, but he wanted to get sort of the moral, ethical standard bearer in the community, Ryan's opinion, before he said anything. And he got Ryan's answer and then sort of sulked away. And then, of course, they did an emergency stream today to address it. Again, they didn't address anything other than the typical response is to personally attack the person who simply played their clip, right? I'm sorry that I used your words against you. Tommy Boy Studios is a pro at that. It doesn't have a lot of context with a lot of stuff he does, but plays people's clips, and he again is promoted in this community for playing people's clips against them, much like when he basically said that he didn't, he horrified that he was doxxed, then he allowed someone to dox his channel, then he unmodded them, then they banned that person, then he allowed that person back. Again, all these little clicks, these clicks that, maybe people can say, oh, you're not a part of the boys club. You're angry and jealous or whatever. No, I'm not. I really don't want to be a part of any of it. I have people that I know in this community, people that I respect, people that I like, but I'm not part of these like handlers. Like I don't have handlers. I don't handle anyone else. People are free to do whatever they want to do. And they're without the need to have sort of handlers. And actually Denise, none other, said that I maybe should have handlers. I don't know, but she said that I maybe need to get some handlers. So much like Ryan has his handlers. So and Jimbo has his handlers. So we had a situation in which ostensibly the conversation was about prostitution on Ryan's channel. I believe it was Friday night. They ran a stream for a couple hours. and Jimbo was up there as a guest, and the topic of prostitution came up, and again, discussing that out of nowhere. Okay, out of nowhere. There was no context to this question. There was no why would you even ask that question. A bizarre question out of nowhere comes up, and I have to give, in defense of Ryan, although he said something he said something bizarre, he went live earlier today thinking that, again, another thing that is surprising to me is like people didn't understand like who I was going. Ryan, you were secondary to the problem that I had with the stream. Ryan, it wasn't particularly bent at you, since you did slam that red button. Since maybe you've missed, you're lost. That red button's lost. Maybe it's damaged. But no, I was sort of secondarily criticizing you for not immediately confronting and then re-asking today. You had an opportunity to ask the questioner back, Jimbo, well, what does he think? Right? Did he believe that a 15-year-old should be able to pay for sex with an adult female? And he defined it very clearly in his question. And again, his question was posed such that you knew what his opinion about it was. And the fact that he didn't come down and say his opinion on it told us very clearly, both on the Friday night stream and today's emergency stream to address the issue, what he thought about it. He didn't give his opinion. Now, of course, boom, mark this time that he's going to come out and say that, of course, he's always thinking he was just asking question for conversation's sake. Bullshit. I'm going to go through why I think it would be bullshit, why I do believe what he was getting at. So we're going to get into a little bit of education for Jimbo and why he may not have to ask that question again. Minors, children, kid, as you term them, Jimbo, cannot consent to sexual contact. So your question from the very start showed where you're at, I think. That is it your opinion that and additionally, that is the legal structure that we have, and there's other structures in place that children are considered abuse victims if they are molested by an adult, no matter if the child, Jimbo, paid for the molestation. The child couldn't consent to the molestation, and the child would be considered a victim and abused. So really, I hope you don't find the need to ask that question again. I would like to know where you stand on it, because, you're one to that whole other network of people in this community that likes to ask a lot of questions, but they answer very little. And then when they are asked questions about themselves, they become defensive, deflected, and they actually claim deflection. They actually claim deflection in a lot of their stuff. You couldn't. So, and none other than Larpy Busters. He's one of those guys I'm just going to pinpoint. I think I've caught him before somewhere, somehow. He addressed me with such a scowl the other day for bringing attention to female predatory pedophilia that it was almost a joke that I brought forward that issue in this community, that was my story, that I was hurt by a female predator. And is he one of those guys that I've always wanted to meet that said, where are those teachers when I was a kid? Is that you, Larp Busters? I'm not generally, this is not a prude stream. This is not for Sam to come out and say that, he is a perfect person. But I do know what predatory behavior is, and I do know what abuse means, and I do know what molestation means. And so for Larp Busters to shame me a few days ago for my exposure of and putting a spotlight on female predators, again, we're digging in. These are the people that were the gold standard in this community without any evidence. there was no evidence to substantiate anything with Edward other than a court document that listed him as a suspect. And these people are sliming dozens and dozens and dozens of people, including Ed himself, without any fucking basis for it, no foundation for it. No one knows what any of the evidence was ever, if there was any at all. And yet these people, the very same people, come out and ask a question: can a 15-year-old have sex with an adult and it not be considered abuse? The very same person. So it's unbelievable to me. No, I'm not white knighting LARP busters for Ed in the slightest. You're white knighting for a whole network of people that have some very weird and bizarre opinions. You think you're out here standing on some sort of ivory tower, LARP. You're not. I'd like to know why you're white knighting for and shaming me for trying to bring attention to female predators. Why is that a problem for you? Is that a problem for you? So, going back to, I'm white knighting for the system. There was no evidence that was presented. He was never charged. We have people, and then people wanted to harass Locksmith for a comment that he made. Sort of a strange comment. I will say it was a strange comment, odd, bizarre comment that Locke made. I think some have tried to make an argument of what he was trying to say, but it was nonetheless pretty bizarre. You all have for 6 months, 9 months, a year harassed Locksmith for this. And Jimbo didn't learn his lesson from Locke, I guess, goes and has to ponder a question about what is the nature of abuse? What is the nature of victimhood? Somehow, if money is exchanged, it would make it okay, that abuse is okay. Somehow, if it was a female offender, it would make it okay. Somehow, if the abused victim was a male, that would somehow make it okay. I would have a question for Jimbo. If a 15-year-old sent a CP photograph of himself to a 30-year-old female, would that be considered CP? Yes, Jimbo, it would. See, even posing that question is insane and ridiculous. And it shows, it gets down to that, mapping your mentality of where you stand, Jimbo. And you're one of the primary drivers of the dragging, Jimbo. You're one of the primary, just trying to destroy people for defending a process and a basis for that process. The foundation of our system. You want to slime them, and you harbor these questions. They shouldn't be questions that you harbor, Jimbo. You shouldn't be confused about it. You shouldn't need Ryan to press the red button to shake you up a little bit, to make you realize that it is abuse, Jimbo. There is a victim, Jimbo. It is a crime, Jimbo. And in fact, what you said may have even been considered not only sexual abuse, but sex trafficking, because there was money in exchange for sexual abuse of a child. So it is wild to me. Thank you, everybody, for, a lot of people were involved sending me this information. I did watch it a few times to understand the context. It's very clear that the only topic that was coming up was something about prostitution. And then it sort of veered into this out of nowhere. And I'm just like, Jimbo, why were you thinking of that? Where did you come up with that? Why was that a question? And you had an opportunity on that emergency stream today that you did, that you could offer an explanation for it. That you could have said, hey, well, I was out with my buddies and the boys, or I was in that Discord server that we threw Ray out of, and everybody was chatting about, what is abuse. And someone said, if a 15-year-old boy, paid for sex with a 30, this is the context of why this question was confusing to me, maybe, or, I was on the side that, of course, it's abuse, or in my thing. You didn't give any explanation for where that question came from, why that was pondering in your brain. I equally can't get inside your brain, Jimbo. I don't understand you just as much as you might not understand me. And so I think that it sort of goes for both sides. And then going back to the secondary thing of Mr. Red Button, on which end? On which end? If a 30-year-old man had paid for sex with a 15-year-old girl, would Ryan pose the question back on which end when we talk about abuse? There's only one end. It only goes one way. It's the child being abused is the victim. There's no end. There's no on which end. It's not an either or as far as who the victim is. It's a one-way street, Mr. Red Button. And that goes toward the child, the kid, the minor is the victim. And so I want to, to clarify this. Maybe I'm off my rocker here a little bit. Maybe I'm off my rocker. So I've got to get to the, and additionally, Mr. Jimbo wants to put himself out there as some sort of moral superiority, right? He's got the moral high ground. This man regularly calls people faggots, fruits, including me. And I'm not, again, this is childhood stuff. This is not something that, but he regularly calls people names. And I'm not saying that I'm personally offended by it, but many people are. And that's a broader thing in this community where we assault people with derisive language. And I see that people routinely and regularly use the word cunt and bitch. And I think it's repulsive and repugnant, particularly for a community that's, ostensibly for victims of sexual abuse, to continually to call and hurl these names at people to get your point across because it's so weak and pathetic that you can't. So you have to use these language, these really nasty and dividing language. I don't think anyone and I'm calling everybody out that's called someone ladies or used called people slurs. I'm calling it out, and I'm not a social justice warrior here, folks, but I do think that you are showing who you are as a person and your personality and the weakness of which you talk when you start using language like that to hurt someone else. So, I think it's ridiculous and it's bad for this community. And so, but to go back to, is it or isn't it? Let's take a look at some of the, case studies out there that we can have to determine if maybe I'm off my rocker here, and maybe I am, but or maybe I'm not. We shall see. But here is a case of a here it is. Here's a case, so we can answer absolutely answer Jimbo's question for him. This is in April of 2018. A woman from Scotland is free on bond from a Florida jail after police said she had sex with a 14-year-old boy she met online. Sarah McGill, investigators said, used the fake name Sophia Bell online, still had her makeup and her pearl earrings on when she was booked in the Orange County Jail Saturday night. That a 14-year-old boy went to Quora and found a way to Miss McGill, who was a sex worker. He then contracted with her, and she was booked on a charge of lewd and lascivious battery in 2018. She was a foreign sex worker, nonetheless. And I'm going to pull up another portion of the case, which is the original police report. So this can maybe help clarify for Jimbo if we have a victim here as a 14-year-old. On April 2018, an officer, Orange County Sheriff's officer, reference to lewd and lascivious activity upon arrival, making contact with the victim and his father. Great to be a father. That father wasn't confused at all. That father didn't have to ask these questions to Ryan at all. That father had to, he knew what was right and wrong. He knew that his son was abused. And so he took it upon himself to contact the police. The victim stated that a few days prior to the incident, he was searching the internet and found a website called Quora, where he came in contact with Sophia Bell. She reached out and explained eventually he received her phone number, and she explained that she later identified herself as Sarah McGill on eros.com with the intent to receive an escort service. The officer stated that he communicated via email and set up a meeting at this hotel. When he arrived, he texted her number. Upon arrival, he began talking to her, and that is when he heard knocking at the door. According to Langston, McGill told him to hide in the bathroom and remain silent. When Langston realized it was the police knocking, he stated that he was going to leave. McGill pleaded with Langston to wait until her friend came, but Langston stated that he wanted to open the door. Eventually, Langston and complied with the police. She agreed to speak with the detective. Where she was interviewed by a detective, and then go into McGill stated to detective that he did appear to be younger than 18. Well, he was 14, so but she admitted to that he did appear a little bit young. And McGill consented to a search of the safe in the room where she was staying and signed a consent to search. Upon opening the safe, she found evidence, and she was booked. So that is that case in which it was indeed charged, and now the end result of that was the plea agreement that was reached in the case, which she did not serve any prison time. Of course not, right? If you molest a 14-year-old child, serving prison time is not in the offing for you. She was sentenced to 5 years of sex offender probation, and then she was, I believe, subject to removal proceedings by the ICE. She was released. So here is her plea agreement, in which she received a 5 years probation sex offender to terminate upon defendant's departure from the United States. She was actually could have served up to 15 years in the Department of Corrections, but she got 5 years of probation. Interestingly enough, she was, of course, she will, not interestingly enough, she actually had to register as a sex offender for having, for molesting a 14-year-old. Again, no here about whether the 14-year-old was an abused victim. And so going back to now her sex offender registration, we can pull that up on the FDLE's website, where she is indeed a registered sex offender, even though she's now located in the UK. UK is a little bit strange when it comes to all of Europe. The rest of the world is a little bit strange with how they deal with sex offenders. So I could not find her on a UK registry. So I don't know what their requirements are if it's publicly available, but clearly Miss McGill, who was a sex worker and an escort, who had molested a 14-year-old, it did indeed was found guilty of that, and is now a sex offender both here in the United States as well as in Florida, in the UK, where she's from. And she was indeed deported once she completed the terms of her sex offender probation. So that's an example of why it shouldn't be confusing, particularly for anyone in this community, even those in this community that are of a protected class, or in this community that are too big to fail, that have too many friends, that are too entrenched, that have too much behind the scenes investments into this community, that even that, all of that goodwill, when they say something that's strange and bizarre and weird, they should be called out for it. And I'm here to hit the red button and call it out. And I'm sad that the other people, the typical dragging queens, were not at the ready to call it out. So I do want to thank everybody for coming out. I did want to thank both JT for posting something on this, as well as Warbot's got some videos out of it, and we can continue this conversation. Hopefully we can get Jimbo to realize that it is abuse, and that it is wrong, and there are victims, no matter if they paid for it or not, because they can't consent. and it would only increase the penalties. So it's just the last couple months have been bizarre. They've seen a lot of who people really are and what kind of person they are, and the utter and open and rampant hypocrisy of some people in this community is makes you want to introspectively worry for us here on planet Earth. To see how people can avoid topics because of the people that are their friends, or because someone's too big of a personality to fail, and they become so incredibly cowardly and weak. And even for those people that sent me those messages, they didn't want to say anything. I'm putting a huge target on my back. And again, we saw it with the emergency stream today, in which the only topic of conversation was slamming and slandering Sam for using someone else's own words, baffling, bizarre as they are, to say things. And so I didn't really want to, Jeff, this is not, if you have something to say on this particular topic with this particular Dragon Queen Jimbo, I'll let you up. I know that you've been a subject of his derision recently. And if you want to do it, we've already got LARP's alts in. LARP's alts have arrived. CPP sham cooperation. Welcome, LARP's alts. How many do you have of just Sam alone? Let us know how many you have. 30, 40? Conservative estimate. I know you're a pretty conspiracy-minded right, way on the right conspiracy-driven side. So let's be conservative about it. CPP sham cooperation LARP. How many alts do you have dedicated to Sam alone? One. Bull fucking shit. You are a liar. You are a liar. And we always knew you were a liar, LARP, with your famed memory. But anyway, if I will send out a link for if Jeff wants to come up, or anyone else that's been dragged by the Dragging Queens, that see a lot of hypocrisy and double standards from the too big to failers, the big personalities that are the Dragging Queens, the bull hands, for instance, who has for months been complaining about CP suspect stuff. And if you're friends with the CP child abuse, is now going to be on the courthouse steps with his camera in hand, berating and barreling to an investigative reporter for reporting on a situation of child abuse in his area of reporting. Bullhand will not be there for the kids, I don't think. But Bullhand, who has always wanted to fight me, and I may not decline it. I haven't accepted it yet. Me and Tommy did come to terms that we won't fight, that we can do better things. And I agree with that. And we both mutually agreed to. But Bullhand might be another story. So the good for you, Bullhand, for showing up on the courthouse steps in defense of someone who has not been a suspect of child abuse, but has indeed been charged with child abuse. So you really are out for the kids, Bullhand. Good for you. And you're going to be there to harass the investigative reporter that is going to be looking into the matter for the community, to protect and defend and to report on an incident in the community. So, Jeff, I sent out the link, and, if you want to come up here to talk about what you got going on, you can. Again, you've been under the subject of intense scrutiny by the Dragging Queens. And I'm not saying some of that scrutiny wasn't warranted. I've got to say that you've had some issues with honesty. You have made a series of false and clearly dishonest statements. And you are one to talk about your religiosity and your faith. And particularly for you, I think you could be a better example of Christianity than what you've done in this community, but I'm not going to judge you. But I will give you some of the floor if you have something to say about this topic, you're welcome to come up, or we can just let Sam seethe, and I can continue to seethe, and I can continue to unload educating on Jimbo of why children, kids can't consent and therefore would be illegal to have, not really that far to understand Jimbo, to have sex with adults or to be molested by adults, and they are abused and they are victims. So I'm sorry that you felt the need to have that question posed to Ryan. Ryan did answer. I will say, shout out to NVCap Ryan. He did answer that yes. It took him a couple of seconds, I would say, and he was a little confused. I think that Ryan, because he was dealing with a too big to fail kind of personality on his stream, Ryan is another character who's too big to fail, by the way. So we had too big to fail, too big to fail, actually, two too big to fail characters on the same stream, talking to one amidst each other, which I think they hated each other at one time, but now they've resolved all their differences. Congratulations. That's great news. He was taken aback by that question, I think, which is what led to him to sort of react the way that he did. He didn't come back and say, why do you ask that question? That's a dumb question. That's a stupid question. That's a weird question. That's a sus question. It's obvious to believe that a victim would be abused. He's a child. He can't consent to sex, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It would probably only add charges because now there's money involved and sex trafficking argument could be made. But he just answered yes. I give him credit. And Ryan, and then, well, I don't know. Today, the two dingbats were on stream together, slamming, seething, seething about Sam, of course, and without addressing any topic. Again, perfect opportunity for Jimbo to address the issue. Did not, because I think he harbors, actually, he think it's not wrong. Maybe he doesn't consider it wrong, or he doesn't consider the person a victim. He doesn't consider it abuse. Doesn't consider it predatory or molesting. But he was had a perfect opportunity to address why that was so confusing for him. And Ryan NVCap nonetheless didn't answer or ask him sort of why. Let's just hammer Sammy. And then they again mocking Locksmith. And again, Cap was Locksmith on a very minor, minute thing on a StreamYard, right? That he didn't know how to use StreamYard. Cap was incensed. Caps was incensed about it. Incensed that he wasn't allowed and had the entitlement of being on a stream with Locke after he called him all sorts of names and said things, and the audacity of Locksmith to not allow him. And then Locke basically said, well, I don't know how to work. The StreamYard was confusing. It said you were Locke, whatever. I don't know. And then to see these two baffling, blundering sus, one in particular, Bumble today, well, I don't know what Sam meant. And you knew exactly what Sam was getting at, because I knew exactly what you were getting at, Jimbo. In fact, where I don't think, you may not even think that a male can be a victim of abuse. Is that what you were getting at, maybe? Or that because money was exchanged, that it wasn't considered molestation, or that or it went in one direction, or that it was a female predator that we were dealing with that was the problem. I knew what you were getting, but they just blunder. NVCap very clearly. Ryan, I'm going to tell you, so because I don't know what Sam, like Sam is like dumb and like he's crazy. I don't know what he was referring to. You knew exactly what I was referring to, but you didn't want to address it because you're scared. Your red button doesn't work anymore. You lost it. You pressed it like 1,000 times, and here we are today when you could really have used it, and I don't know what Sam was talking about. So, hello.
Hey.
Yes, Jeff. Welcome to the Sam Clinton 2.0.
This is one second. I gotta hook up my headset.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm. This restream is different than. Okay, can you hear me now, bud?
It's not that much different, Jeff. Let's be honest. It's a little bit quirky, but it's not that quirky. But this is your first appearance on Sam Clinton 2.0 YouTube channel. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And you wanted the link, so you have the link, and you're now here. And if there's something, you have been the subject of intense scrutiny from none other than Jimbo. And if you've got something to say that's relevant to Jimbo, or something to say to him or me or the audience and the chatters, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me okay now?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. You have to forgive me. I don't think I know Jimbo unless there's like another name I should know about, like another screen name or something. I don't know.
Damone, right? You know Damone?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Damone has used the term Jimbo to describe himself in his name as his name.
Gotcha. Um,
Yes.
Actually, I had to inform him today. I believe it was through a comment a few hours ago. He's been harassing me to the point of insanity, and not literally, but you know what I mean. Just
Sure.
yeah. Um, and I did ask him to quit harassing me. He will do anything and everything it takes to try to get somebody canceled or banned or hidden or whatever. All because I went on a panel with Ed and we talked about something courteously, man to man, about something we both agree with. I got attacked, and then of course there was a drunk situation.
I don't mean to cut you off, Jeff, real quick. Let me just address second in command Lieutenant Larp out there. Imagine not having the ability to call out your friend online because he's too big to fail for saying or having to even posit the question, can a 15-year-old have sex with an adult and it not be considered abuse and or whatever else he was talking about, a crime? Imagine that. We've got another guest. Hold on. I'll let you up in a second. I'm going to surprise the guests. Okay. I see you. I'm going to surprise them. Gotcha. But Jeff, go ahead. I just had to call Larp out. Imagine not just like going, what did he say? So some of the CP suspect, like, hey, Larp, call him out, Larp. Tell him that you condemn that comment, right? Condemn that question that he had to even ask, can a 15-year-old pay for sex with an adult and it not be considered abuse? Call him out, Larp. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Jeff.
It's fine. Hi, Nevermore, by the way. Good to see you. Thank you for being there for me behind the scenes the last couple of weeks. And no, I'm not drunk, people. I haven't drank in, 15, 16 days now or something like that. I'm just fine. But I wanted to bring up, if I could, stop me if I'm wrong. I wanted to bring up something that Ryan said in chat, or he said on his stream, that I'm not trustworthy or something because I lied about 6 to 9 things. I haven't gone through them all yet. Me and Ed talked about some of them uh, when I was drinking and being stupid for like 3 or 4 months or whatever. Yeah, I did say some stupid things. I did lie about some things. I over exaggerated about some things. I thought I fessed up to most of those. I think I did. There's a few that I missed, obviously. But like Warbot was telling me, if you don't mind me saying this, Warbot, um, I don't need to feed into everything, you know. I will admit and man up to what I need to, man up to or whatever. Um, and I also talked to Ed uh, on the phone, and we were talking about some things, if I may say. And I was doing kind of like my own investigation, if you will. Just not. I'm not saying I'm a private investigator. I'm just saying I'm doing my own investigations. And an incident report is something that happens every time if you get pulled over for speeding, or even like if the cop thinks you're speeding. If you're completely innocent and maybe you get a warning ticket or don't even get a warning ticket, you just get, told, slow down or whatever. That goes to what's called a fusion center, and an incident report is made. So even if you didn't do anything wrong, it all goes to a fusion center. And I was looking into that, and I'm not saying anything else except for the fact that Ed is not charged. He's not convicted. I don't even think he's going to be charged because I think something of that
But
nature.
it doesn't, Jeff, forget even that. You've got the very people calling out not just Ed, but everybody else around Ed for whatever this was about. And they're literally having to ask the question, can a 15-year-old have sex with an adult and it not be considered abuse? And they're sitting there and high on their horse, high and mighty, ivory tower, sliming people, saying untruths, being dishonest, and destroying people. And yet they have to even ask these questions. It's sus. It's insane to me. And you're right. Jimbo might be insane. I'm sorry you didn't get the Jimbo reference. Real quick, I'm going to bring up a very special guest who we haven't seen in a long time. First time here on my stream. I've been on her stream a few times, but the community has been missing her. None other than Chuckles, Chuck Dog. How are you, Chuckles, tonight? Welcome to the Sam Clinton 2.0 YouTube channel.
What's up, Chuck?
Thank you for having me.
What's up, Chuck Dog?
Sure.
What's up?
What's on your mind tonight?
Nothing. Just wanted to say hi and see how you were doing and stuff.
I'm doing great. I have been, harassed and doxxed and all kinds of stuff, normal internet stuff that happens when you're on the internet. Certainly not to the degree that you have experienced being harassed online, Chuckles, but so to some degree.
It's still continuing. It hasn't ended, even though I've changed communities. It's still happening.
Would you say that the Predcatcher community is of particular nastiness as you move on or move beyond this community?
I mean, I would say it's like of equal nastiness, but like it's just a different type of nastiness. Like it's more direct, I think, than but like in the communities that I've kind of been in, it's more like indirect, passive aggressive type shit. Yeah.
What have you been talking about on your channel? I'm gonna bounce around here, Jeff, and because I very rarely get to see Chuckles, and I've never seen her on my stream. I'm gonna entertain her for a while. What are your topics now? I see you streaming occasionally. I have not. Has the usual suspects been in your streams occasionally, like LARP or Pat Con Man? Are they still around some? Do you see them occasionally?
Yeah, Pat Con's still around.
Oh, good. Good to have. Always good to have Con Man.
There's a couple people from the Predator Catcher community that still stick around and hang out with me. Most of them are just a random group of people. I don't know if you've heard of Internet Blood Sports.
No, what is?
It's kind of like Dead now, but it's called like the Sector, and like it's pretty. Ethan Ralph. He has like a Rumble.
I heard of him. Don't know much about him.
He's like the main guy, and then there's like all these. I mean, it's pretty brutal, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I feel like I found kind of my people, some of them at least.
Is it like political discussions or just open cultural topics?
It's like debate, but now it's like also like kind of like there's just a bunch of like there's British trolls. There's just so many subsets of it.
Yeah. Well, is it part of Internet Blood? It's just like how would I get access to it to jump into the blood sports? If I wanted to jump right in.
I think I mean I don't really know how that works. I mean, yes, like I'm kind of in, but the way that I got in is like a little bit different. Like I was groomed for 5 months.
Like, well, that term has a different meaning here, Chuck.
No, it's groomed it's exactly like it.
You were groomed in a good way to be involved, or groomed in a bad way, like predator grooming.
Well, the guy was married, and that was news to me recently. He got doxxed. He deleted his channel and his Twitter and like everything. Like he's gone basically from the internet. But he still has like, people doing stuff for him.
Meaning attacking for him, basically.
Yeah, and that's that's what I
Well,
was.
no, but you were. Well, explain this to me. You were groomed to be a part of this community, or you
I
were
don't think
groomed
that
by
was the
him
intention.
to.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to like
Right.
fuck with me, and that's not what ended up happening. I don't think that what he had planned. He got I guess he had fucked over a lot of people, and he got doxxed pretty bad. Somebody contacted his wife, I guess, and I had no idea. He has he just he'll pin people against each other and like watch it for entertainment, like his just own personal fulfillment.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think he did it with everybody. It wasn't just like exclusive to me. It was like a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting how big of balls people have online, but when it gets into the real world, it's different story. You know, I'd love to see all these people at like a bar with real people and how they interact. You know, because there's big games talked. You can do a lot of stuff online that you cannot do in person. You know, and from like the doxing and harassing people, you can sit on your phone and call someone 1,000 times a day and not have any recourse. You're not punished for it. But if you go and you sit behind someone at a bar screaming their name every 10 seconds, you're going to get punched in the face pretty quick, or harassing them,
Yeah, and I mean, this guy was really careful about keeping his identity under wraps. Like he would just live stream with like a mask on, and but I guess like somewhere down the line on Discord, he shared a picture of like the outside of his house, which was like you could see a hill and like two landmarks, and they were able to figure out like everything about this person.
Yeah. That is insane how people do that. There's that what's that game called, to identify, you give someone like a street, you drop them somewhere in the middle of a country, and they have to use like the street signs to identify. Let me look where that up.
Like there was
Location.
okay, so like it was like an
I guess it's
insane.
called GeoGuessr is a game.
Like
I guess.
the extent of which like the OCD detail orient, like this person like just went outside and took a snapshot of like a there was like a street pole, and like up on the hill you could see like like a falling down structure, and they were able to figure out like where exactly this person lives.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's scary, but I mean, yeah.
Well, to update, Jeff is here on the program, and I think you guys know each other pretty good. And he's been experiencing some stuff recently that is, I would say that, he's confessed to a lot of different stuff he's done and said that might not have been true, but he's at the point where now it's just about dragging and harming him. Right, Jeff? Would you say that it's gone over the top with you?
Yeah, if I may say, I've talked to a lot of people personally, like Bobby, Ed, Warbot, OTR, just several people on both sides, all sides, to be honest with you. And I'm not pushing my religion. I'm just simply saying, as a Christian, I actually felt bad about some of the things I had done. I've been alcohol free for, I believe it's 15. It's pretty good. I have been, puffing on the devil's lettuce, Mary Jane.
The what? Okay.
The devil's lettuce.
I wouldn't know anything about that. Sorry, Jeff. I don't inhale.
That's been helping me. The doctor's medications have been helping me too. I think I'm almost past, the withdrawal, whatever you want to call it, stage. But
when did you have an alcohol problem? Like, when have you always had one, or is it come and go depending on, I mean, would you say that this internet world has caused you to have some of it too? Like to drink more or to not be sober?
Okay, so I drank when I was young, teenager, and I quit when I was right before I got married. And then I was clean for probably 14, 15 years. And then I drank again for 2 years. And I quit for 6 years. And I messed up at the end of May. and I drank quite consistently for 3 or 4 months, give or take, until about 15 days ago. Um, so it has been like an on and off problem. It has. Not going to deny that. Also, once the fog in my brain started to clear, a little over a week, I started to realize some things, and I I'm not a private investigator, just so everybody knows that. But I did my own little investigation, if you will, on some things, and I even talked to some people on the phone about different things. I talked to Ed a little bit, and um, just to be honest, I mean, Alex interviewed Ed via live on Rumble, and most cases, even the few that dealt with CP, were done with over like I don't know 6 7 weeks, whatever. Um, and I also want to say this too. When you get pulled over, I think I said this earlier, but just in case I did, when you get pulled over for anything or you get contacted by the police, whether it's good or bad, every little thing you do goes to a diffusion center. There's an incident report made, whether you're the victim or you're the suspect or whatever. And I realized, wait a minute, we can't be attacking. I don't think we should be attacking somebody who has not been charged and or convicted of something that that's not been.
But I mean, you kind of did for a couple
Yeah.
months, Jeff. Did you
Oh
not?
no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
what has brought you to enlightenment that we have a constitutional republic that has a system of justice which considers people innocent until proven guilty? I mean, I not to question you, but I do have some questions about you, if you don't mind, as far as what you can, how you went about saying some things that you've said. But I know you've apologized, but I think you didn't necessarily clarify. But like you were part of the dragging group for a while. What sort of brought you to enlightenment that people are innocent until proven guilty, and that's even if they're charged with a crime?
I'll be completely honest. I think it was about a week or so after I quit drinking. Um, my,
So your sobriety brought you back to that,
I
basically,
think so.
or
Yeah,
not drinking.
that and
So your alcohol may have contributed to, or drinking heavily, I guess, contributed you to break down and participate in some of the, commentary about and just sort of the drags that were happening.
yeah,
Um,
and even before that, um, it was more like a how do I say this? When I first saw the PCD video, I was balls to the wall on the Florida trip. I was all for it. I was in the chats. Ray even mentioned me. I think on one or two of them.
yeah, a lot of people were like Tommy Boy, who said he didn't even watch them, but he was there,
I was like, wow,
supportive,
yeah,
balls to the wall.
exactly,
Yeah.
very supportive.
And then what turned it for you, basically, then, because we had a stream together, Jeff, in which you were, fuck you, Sam, fuck you, I've got $1 million in my pocket, and you fuck your what brought you to that point from you had all the information you needed to have. Hey, I like this. How did you get that up here too, Chuckles? You integrated your software, I guess.
She's always
Um,
pasta.
no, I know she's always been pasta, but on StreamYard now she can use Restream for it.
That's pretty cool. It's
Um,
OBS, I believe.
It's
is that what you're using, Chuckles OBS?
no.
Oh, my bad.
How did you integrate your pasta to Restream?
It's like it goes. It's like it's a software that's discontinued, so I had to like figure out how to like unzip it, and like I don't even know how the fuck I got it to work. But it's called Snap Camera, and it's like goes on the over the camera basically. So you just click on Snap instead of like your regular camera.
What can you? What is
OBS is for
What
streaming.
is OBS? Can you explain what? Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
here we are. I'm not using OBS.
Yeah, so
right?
there's two
So is it
different
more?
types of streaming. There's like one that you can do on a web browser, and then one that you can do like in a software program. And the OBS Streamlabs, like I think XSplit is another one. But basically, you can either run it through like the browser, which is like faster and more reliable, but there's less customizations that you can do with it.
Mhm.
Or you can use like and I haven't been able to figure it out entirely yet. I'm still working on it, but
Mhm.
because there's so many things that you can do with it, with the widgets and the alerts and stuff.
Do you like? I see you use a Shure mic. Do you like your mic?
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's.
your
I
your
mean,
mic
like
sounds
what?
good though.
Yeah, I have the Yeti Blue, and I'm always curious, like, is it worth to have like, the Shure mic versus a Yeti Blue mic? So that's about like what $200 difference in cost. I think that it's more about like the reverberation echo. Like when I talk too loud here, you all, which I do frequently, you can hear that through the mic. Whereas on a Shure, I think it automatically tones it down. I think it does some stuff like that. But
Well, I also
have you used a Blue? Have you used a Yeti before?
that's like a USB mic, right? Like you just plug it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It's
so
the best. It's basically the best, and I think the best USB based.
I mean, it sounds
mic.
great to me. There might be like some kind of dampeners that you can put on the wall if you're worried about the echo.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like when I get too loud, know how it pops to like red
Uh-huh.
when you're talking into it. Like it pops regularly enough. I think like when I've tried a Shure mic before, it's even though it pops to red on the XLR box, it doesn't sound as bad as if it was saying. But yeah, I mean the Shure mic is what, like $400?
Oh, this one was
or
only
so?
like this one actually is USB and XLR, so there's two
Oh,
different
cool.
ports for it. And this
Wait a minute. I thought a Shure was only XLR cable.
no, this one has
for
both. This
audio.
one was only
Oh,
250 as well.
nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's
I
the
didn't know that.
MV7, but I also have it plugged into a audio interface.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Who I came up one time when who was that guy on you? He's like Thorpe. What's his name? Something Thorpe.
Oh,
Is he a
Ben.
regular guest?
No,
Yeah.
I mean
Who
he
is
hasn't
that
been on
guy?
there in a
Who is that guy?
while, but yeah, so like I'm
What's his story? What's his deal?
so it's hard for me to speak on behalf of other people because I don't really like to tell other people's stories for them because it's not mine. But I just found them on the internet. There was like a lot of people talking about them. It's him and his daughter who stream. They live together, and there's a very like dark rabbit hole that you can go and make your own judgments and assumptions about their relationship. They're pretty open about everything, but I would just recommend going to like the source itself if you want to learn about somebody.
Sam,
All right.
Sam, sorry to bother you.
Yes, sir.
People are saying
Yes.
in chat if you could drop the link for JT.
Sure.
All right, cool. Can I answer a few questions? I'm getting too far behind.
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. Chuckles, do you mind if we give it to Jeff to answer because he's been under
Oh,
the
no, go ahead.
spotlight recently? Yeah.
Let me try to go up a little bit here and start some kind of ridiculous, but I'll try to get through them here. Jeff has, yeah, that's stupid. We're going to get that. Jeff, tell Sam. Okay, I already did that. Drop the link for JT. Southwest Jeff, tell. Okay, same thing. Well, maybe there might not be too much. There were some.
Get to the not Jeff. Let's get to the meat of the thing that people are asking you questions about your things. If you we don't need to tell me that I need to drop the link. We did it. Colfax is here. Welcome, JT Colfax. We've got JT
I
Colfax.
don't want to be here, so I don't really want to interrupt anything and all the flow and whatnot. It's just that I have received just now a cache of papers, and your name is on them. They are legal papers, and a person I am unable to speak.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, shut up! I just want to.
Easy.
I wanted to say this for like 50 seconds to get off. God damn it!
I don't know.
feel like
There's
it.
three
And
people
she
here.
goes, you know
No,
what?
go. All right.
I'm gonna type
Calm,
it.
calm
I'm
down.
gonna
All
type
right.
it. I'm gonna type it.
Calm down.
I
I'm
know
gonna type
this
it.
is
I'm
way
gonna
too
type it. I'm
easy.
gonna-
Way too
Oh
easy.
my god! I'm gonna type it into the chat. Fuck you all. It's in one paragraph.
Rage
Jesus
quit.
Christ.
Rage quit. Rage quit.
All right. JT struggles communicating with women sometimes.
Yeah, no,
it
it's.
struggles. So
I thought that
anyway,
was
I'm not-
amazing work on my part. You're welcome.
Well, JT, what's going on? Anyway, did you want to go ahead, Jeff, if you want to address some things too first?
I wanted to answer your question. So, obviously, as a human being, a Homo sapien, whatever, when that PCD video came out right away, I was actually kind of blown back for a few days. I didn't know what to say, just to be honest with you. And then, and Nick and I have since talked, by the way. We're talking now a little bit on IG. And so it did get me kind of riled up, and I was a little bit upset, confused, etc. I did have questions. I did have speculations. And I, shortly thereafter, relapsed, started drinking, and then I went on Cap Stream, and I did my thing, which turned into a haystack video. And then I passed out. So from there on, I just kind of kept it going. Just being honest, I was drinking, got liquid courage, whatnot, and that went on for a while. And then after a while, even when I was still drinking, not pushing my religion, I'm just saying what I believe. The Holy Spirit spoke to my heart. It's like, no charges. There's no convictions. There's no, what I see anyways, like major evidence or whatever. And I kind of backed down a little bit, if you noticed. I don't know if you did or not, but I did. I kind of backed down a little bit. And then,
Excuse me, I have a question. What are you talking about?
the whole Ed thing.
So Chuckles, if you have not been observing or watching, Jeff was part of this quote unquote side in this community that was dragging Ed. Obviously, you know about the Ed situation back in the spring, right?
Yeah.
And this summer, he had the audacity to go up a few weeks ago on a stream with Ed. And they had a discussion about some matter. Don't even remember what it was, but his
Gomez
whole
and Mouse.
group,
Yeah.
something to do with some, Gomez, and that, whatever that is, or that's going on there. I don't know, whatever that matter is. And people flipped for him having the audacity to go up on Ed's stream. And they've been dragging him ever since.
Mm-hmm.
He's said some things. Jeff, I would say, you've been outright lying about a lot of different stuff, right? You know that.
Yeah.
And people have known that about
That's
him
typical
for a long time.
for religious people. Proceed.
Well, it actually wasn't religion. It was alcohol.
Chuck Dog.
It was alcohol.
Easy, Chuck Dog.
It was alcohol.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's blame the alcohol, Chuckles. That's not.
Oh,
blame-
okay.
I'm,
Well,
I'm
it's the
not.
same,
I'm
but,
not
yeah.
I'm not justifying. I'm just
So,
saying alcohol didn't help it.
People then,
Hey,
as is typical.
Well,
is
Jeff
typical,
is very
people bring-
easily influenced by his peers.
Let me say, I do. Let me just say real quick that what JT had to say to me, Chuckles, you drove him away.
I do
JT, you're
that.
welcome to come back. I will cut Chuckles off
Ah.
to allow you back up here. Sorry, Chuck Dog. Sam, a pile of legal papers are out there with your name in them. Well, get in line because there's a bunch, but you are not the focus. A disgusting man on the periphery of this community has been exposed by the police for his bogus accusations. Do we know who that's referencing? I never did feel like being on the panel. I just wanted to have 50 seconds, but this bullshit is more now. JT, come on up. So, anyway, I don't know what that's referencing, but JT, you're welcome to come back up if you want to in the once things have settled down. So anyway, Chuckles, the issues with Jeff have been he has been harassed by a group of people in that side of the community that typically does the dragging and the harassing.
So
And,
Cap is what you're
obviously is totally people like Cap and Red Hood to a point.
Yeah, people who want to tell other people who they're allowed to associate
Jimbo
with, correct?
Yes, exactly. Those folks. So they didn't take kindly to Jeff having the audacity going up on Ed's panel, and they judged him for it, and they basically dragged him and have been dragging him and harassing him ever since. And they finally had the courage to bring attention to his lies that, in all honesty, he's been lying about certain things for a long time, but they only had the courage and the conviction to talk about them after he was no longer on quote unquote their side. So is that pretty accurate, Jeff?
Pretty much, yeah.
So this is the issue that I have here is when you let other people think for you and judge your behavior. Like I feel like Jeff is one of those people who's very, very easily influenced by his peers and cares way too much about what his peers think of him.
Probably.
I would probably tend to agree with that. I don't think that's
he just does whatever everyone else is doing. It's very hard to respect him as a human.
Well, jeez. Okay, that's pretty a low blow.
Well, I mean, he's came after me. He's came after me for no reason as well. Like,
we
just
keep it above the belt here, Chuck
okay.
Dog. You're diving right below
All
the
right.
belt, and we're trying to keep it above the belt.
I'm just, I would
in
like
line
to
with
address
Tommy
the fact that he
Boy's
came
studios.
after me for no reason whatsoever.
Well, would we like to have sort of an intervention here, Jeff? Well, can you go and say what he went after you for, Chuckles?
Like,
and
literally
what
just
you
because
respond?
everyone else was. It was very sad and weird.
Yeah, it's on my channel. She was a moderator of my channel. I stuck up for her because
everyone else was.
Meow bought some nudes or something and then pretty much gave them to a bunch of people, and that's not only morally wrong, but it's against the law. It's revenge porn, and I was against that. So I made her a mod. People got pissed off. They came up. They said some things. They sent me some links and some whatevers.
Okay,
and
can you be like a little bit more specific about like why you went after me?
Real quick, I don't mean to get into this tit for tat here. Breaking news: I am now authorized by the victim of this terrorism from from the desk of JT Colfax, Colfax with Colfax, to say that John Davis is the one who is now deeply under law enforcement focus for his hugely time wasting and illegal accusations. That is big news, if indeed that is true. Chuckles, I don't know if you're here for the whole John Davis stuff or that side of the thing. They've just been doxing nonstop and harassing people nonstop, repetitively. Wow, that's big news, JT. You're welcome to come back up and talk about it. Thank you for letting us know about it. But anyway, did not want to. Back to the really important thing at hand. Jeff, why did you go at Chuckles?
Yeah, just a quick question. How do I scroll down to catch up with chats on Restream before I continue?
Jeff, let's just dip. No, you don't need to get back to chat, Jeff. Let's just stay here. Why did you go after Chuckles?
Yeah,
like
yeah. So,
following in the footsteps
sure,
of like a Tommy Boy type.
Sure. So at that time,
and I don't know why you like Tommy Boy very much. I don't like him at all and have no respect for him, but you do. So that's kind of a strange bedfellow. But anyway, go ahead, Jeff. Sorry. I have a comment about that too, which is exactly what Chuckles was saying. You sort of go where the wind blows you.
Yeah.
and for you to have gone and genuflect in front of Tommy Boy while he quote unquote exposed you, which is not even an he's just a joke. Tommy Boy is a joke. Plain and simple, he's a joke. There's no reason why you needed to genuflect for him. Get on your knees for him, Jeff. Pull up your pants and move on. You didn't have to go suck up to him. Okay? That's all I had a problem with. Anyway,
Yeah.
that did rile me up a little bit to see you go. Like, the man was dragging you. He was unnecessarily dragging you because there was a lot of big other people that he could drag. He wants to come at you, come at me, come at Chuckles, but he leaves out a lot of people.
Right.
He actually
his boys.
apologized to me. If that makes
Oh, wow.
I mean, if I
Oh, wow.
yeah, I don't know if that makes he
Yeah.
wanted to like work with me, and I was like, sorry, it's a little bit too late for
Oh,
that.
breaking news.
It's a little bit too
Huh.
late for me.
Well, he is looking for he's a single guy in Europe, Chuckles. So maybe he wanted to work with you. Maybe he was looking for a date potentially.
No, I don't. I think that he was. He saw
I have
that I was
heard- I have
growing,
heard.
and he didn't like.
Huh?
I think so. He followed me around to a couple of panels because, like, you know,
Mhm.
he wanted to like make a
Like a
lol
creep.
cow out of me, and I guess it, you know,
Yeah.
didn't really
No,
work
typical.
out.
He's a creep.
Yeah. So, he was like,
He's followed a lot of women around. Don't worry.
Okay.
Not you weren't the only.
yeah, but like he went on a panel to like tell everyone I'm racist and stuff for no reason, and they would just kind of laughed at him, and he like kind of dropped it after that.
Anyway, I do hear from another other than a community member, Ray, that he is a handsome guy. I have heard that he's a handsome guy.
Yeah,
So
not-
if you are looking for a date,
No,
and
not
you're
on the
over in Europe
inside.
sometime.
No.
Okay, he's.
Yeah.
I do hear from inside sources that have seen him that he is a rather handsome
Yeah,
gentleman.
just unfortunately, I can't tolerate his personality.
All right, back to FTK.
Can I answer
Is that you?
Can I answer my question, or
Are you gonna answer the question, Jeff?
I'm trying to.
FTK, are you going to say anything?
No.
Okay, move. Jeff, please answer her question.
Okay, go ahead and repeat it just so I have it all clear.
Okay,
here.
why did you go after me when everyone else was going after me? Was it just to like fit in or what?
I
Okay.
think honestly it was a little bit of both. Because I didn't want to have to. I didn't want to take the wrench. I was generally defending you against Meow for, you know, the nudes and whatnot. And
Do you ever like use critical thinking to like make your own judgments?
here's the thing. I do. That's the problem. Is I do. On YouTube. On YouTube. I don't know who was laughing there, but on YouTube, I feel like sometimes, well, I should say, I feel like sometimes I have to do certain things or whatever. And I realize, especially after quitting drinking, after about a week and a half or so, give or take a few days, I realized this is so stupid. It's just YouTube. And I realize I'm going to be my own person. If I'm going to come on Sam's
All
stream,
right, never mind. We're not gonna get an answer from this guy.
no, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I kind of did already. But at the time, I felt like it was like, okay, following a certain direction, if you will, or a certain group of people. I don't feel that way anymore. I will go where I want to go and
Okay, good.
where people will have me. I've had people from all different sides. There's like four sides now, Sam? I don't even know. 3 or 4 sides.
I'm in my own side, by the way. I'm on my own. And it's a lonely side, to be honest. Yeah, I do think we're struggling with an answer there, Jeff. You said that you didn't like to see what happened to Chuckles, and it happened. But then, why did you pick on her, or attack her, or her, whatever?
Okay.
Like, do you have an ant? Like, why did you feel it necessary?
I'll be
guess.
honest. You have to give me a link or a timestamp or something. I just don't.
Oh,
remember.
I do have actually a video that I can share with you of it. I do
Okay.
have I do have a link for you if you would
Okay.
like. hold on, let me.
No, we don't do that here. We're not weirdos like Tommy Boy, and we have terabytes of stuff.
No, I have
Jeff,
a small
the global-
soundbite of this if you want it.
Sure.
The theory
It's
is
okay. It's okay.
the idea is: do you dispute the fact that you went after Chuckles?
That's the thing. I don't have I have a health issue, which is I had to take medicine for. It's a
Okay,
memory
yeah.
thing. That's why I'm asking. Like, I don't mind her showing that, so I can address it. That's what I mean.
Well,
I'm just being honest. I'd rather.
okay, you're being.
It's actually
Welcome
in my
to Sam
in
Clinton.
my
We do
portfolio
that here
here.
at Sam Clinton. We
In Jeff's defense,
it's strange enough.
in Jeff's defense, Chuckles is pretty forgettable.
No. I have
You're-
it right here. I just don't know if the like.
She's been through enough, FTK.
No,
And
apparently
this community
not.
is
Apparently not.
No, I actually like to hear it because I want to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing that can I finish this real quick, Sam?
Gremlin is here, your former boyfriend. That really, Gremmy's here. Watch out, Chuckles.
Oh, wait.
I don't know
Before
what-
you
what
let him up, can
that's-
you just play this small clip?
Please.
I
Okay.
put it in the thing.
Hold on, real quick. Chuckles, fuck off. Somebody get rid of that bitch. Thank you. Go ahead, Vic.
What?
Well,
So, I don't
but I'm
know
just saying.
if you
Hold on.
realize that was.
Oh, I thought that was Jeff. Now
that-
that would have been like the.
No, that was
I
that
thought
was exactly what
thought
I
that
was
Jeff
referring
today.
to. Actually,
Okay. Why don't you want to replay that?
Go ahead.
Because that was strange how that came about.
how that I have that.
No. Like I thought he was actually saying Chuckles fuck off now.
Yeah, that is his voice.
I did.
Yeah, no, obviously. I mean, Jeff, do you dispute that? Is that you?
Yeah, it is. I
Okay,
could tell.
that is
I
you.
could tell I was trash too. I'm just being honest.
Are you sure it's not AI?
Was that?
I mean, I fortunately have this in my portfolio of Spurg
Well, hey, you
alerts.
should have partnered up with.
Spur,
You should have
Spurgs.
partnered up with Tommy Boy. He has his fair share of weird.
I
really tight,
actually have
bizarre
used
clips.
it in several of my promotional videos.
Mm-hmm. Can you play it again? Play it again so we can really get a feel for what was said.
Yeah, how do I do this? I think you have to do it.
Huh?
It's not.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not. Oh.
Real quick, FCC. I can't read your
Oh, here we go.
comments.
Work that.
StreamYard. If you can unblock me.
You
I
say
have
anything,
nothing-
FTK, you're gone.
FCC.
I don't
meant,
know how
but,
to
yeah.
make it play.
It's hard for me to look back at comments.
Well, let me.
What?
Hold on, let me see if I can do it.
Hold
Let me play it
on,
again.
real quick.
Hold on.
Chuckles, fuck off. Somebody get rid of that bitch. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vic.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, all right. right.
All right. Vic was on your program too. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
oh,
good.
but I'm just saying.
You know,
You know. Oh, you were Chuckles. Did you and Vic ever get along?
I don't really like rednecks.
Well, I'm not going to say. Geez, the name calling here. I'm trying to.
No, it was an
it's not that,
observation.
it's just his behavior.
I mean, I don't.
His
all
behavior
he
is
says is,
it.
That's all he says. So I don't think we have that much in common.
Hey Jeff, FCC says he can't hear you. I don't know if that's because he blocked you.
I can hear him.
FCC.
Sounds like a personal problem.
FCC,
I can
FCC has a
see him
FCC
through-
has a lot of personal problems.
I can see him through StreamYard. but
Oh no,
that's
this
it.
is not StreamYard. This is the bootleg version.
FTK, can you please not change the subject? We're addressing Jeff's
Sure.
weird spastic behavior.
No, FTK's up here to
Reassuring.
deflect for Jeff.
Okay, I see.
It's not surprising. He's done it for
I
months.
see.
So Jeff, let's get to where we stand today. You had a list of people in comments asking you questions. Jimbo, the subject of my exposure tonight for his weird and sus comments about minors
Hey,
paying for
Nick.
sex, wanted to come up on your stream the other night and you didn't let him up. Do you want to address that? And did you block him, by the way? Is Jimbo Damone, since you didn't know that
Oh,
reference?
he's a dick
Is
too,
he blocked?
though. Sorry, go.
Who?
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Damone.
Well,
Damone.
did you hear what he said? I went over it earlier tonight, Chuck. but he basically made a statement about if a 15-year-old paid for sex with an adult, would that be considered abuse? He had to actually ponder that question. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, it is. But yeah.
Welcome to the channel, Vic. Vic, I'm glad you're here. You know, it's been a long time, and it's been a long time coming, Vic. I'm happy that you're here, even though you've doxed and harmed me and harassed me. Welcome to my channel. You keep it clean, you can stay.
When's that fight?
If not, between who?
You and Vic.
We're still trying to find a venue.
Well,
FTK.
I have a friend
actually.
that works at ESPN that may be able to get you on like the Ocho.
Another deflection, FTK. You're up here to deflect for Jeff. Jeff, answer some questions. Can you please answer some questions?
Sure. Ask him. I don't know how to scroll up and down.
Did you block Jimbo, otherwise known as formerly known as Damone, not a dox? Don't try to privacy strike me because that's not your name. Did you block him from your channel?
I did not. I found out that he was blocked on my last live.
Okay.
I just can't remember who exactly at this point. I have to go back and look. I'm just being honest. I don't remember. I think it might have been, and I could be wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong if you're here. It could have been Warbot, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Did you see him in your chat wanting to talk? Now, I'm not saying that you did anything. I'm not saying you had to talk with him. I wouldn't want to ever talk to the fucker either. So I understand why you didn't want to talk to him, because he is a vindictive, angry, nut, insane. So harasser and clouts and sits on Ed's panel for interviews Ed, does a bunch of stuff, and then flips a switch and leaves the community and comes back, then makes weird sus comments, way worse than Locksmith ever made. And here we are. So I don't have a problem with you not wanting to talk to the fucker. I did want to say, like, why didn't you let him up and have him ask questions for you the other night when he was demanding a link to your stream? When you were addressing, would you not have wanted to address him head on? He's been your number one. He's been after you. You could have taken him head on, Jeff.
Right. Before I did that stream, I made it private where I only sent the StreamYard link to a certain number of people.
Right.
I wanted. Okay, so the last night that I got trashed, I did a stupid stream.
Jeff, I hate to go like sort of Katie Couric on you, like Sarah Palin, but let's stick to the question. No, I just want to get these questions out. Jim was demanding a link. Jimbo, demanding a link 1,000 times to come up and talk to you. Did you just not want to talk to him, or you were afraid to talk to him, or what? It's a simple answer, I think.
I'm getting there.
Okay, well, I mean, you have the windiest of windy roads to get to a strange resulting answer, but okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I was going to do a stream within a week after I quit drinking. I wasn't ready yet. I had family members pass away. I had an injury in the family. I had other things going on, so I just couldn't do it. So it was almost 2 weeks. I was like, I got to do something. So I did, and I went live. And, of course, right before I went live, other stuff happened, but I went ahead and went live. And I selected a certain number of people, Warbot, OTR,
so you're telling me the logistics of, like, structurally why that's not why didn't you let him up? That's just structuring how you structure the initial thing.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I just need to finish.
Okay.
So I sent the link to a certain number of people. Okay.
And you could send it out again and let a number of other people come up. Okay.
Sure I could.
You know.
But I didn't want to.
What?
Because I was.
That's the answer.
Can I finish? Can I
I mean,
finish? Oh my gosh!
It's
Can I just-
taken
can I
over
just
a minute
finish?
to answer this. This is too long.
About 10 minutes. Yep.
That's how you
Okay,
know
we
he's
getting
full
really-
of shit.
Okay. Anyways, so I
We're going to
sent
have to
the
bring in
link-
Rob Lowe.
Yeah. So I sent the link to a certain number of people, and that was the only people I was going to let up. End of story.
You
On
could
that
have just
stream.
said that. That last
Okay, so
I
you
know,
you
but
you,
I
you
kinda-
didn't
I
want to
kinda
talk
wanted
to
to get
him
into
or
it.
anyone else. So you ran this stream in which you would only answer or have up people who were giving you softball and OTR is I know OTR. He's a great guy. Don't have any issues with him, but talk about someone you would bring on a panel for softball type interactions. Pred Catcher OTR is a very nice. He's not hostile at all. And it seems like you brought up the one guy who's not going to challenge you in the slightest on any of your statements on what you advertised. And now you say like you advertised that stream the night before, I believe. So you're acting like you
Right.
just popped up and walked out of bed and went live. You were advertising and promoting that stream for a while. Then you bring up what would be considered a softballer. And I don't think that Pred Catcher OTR really asked you any questions of relevance or challenged any of your statements. He sort of just let you do it, and you really didn't address chat. And Damone, who needed an explanation about why it's wrong for a 15-year-old to pay for sex, wanted to come up,
Wait.
and you didn't let him up.
Wait, hold on. A 15-year-old what now? I don't know what you're talking
You do
about.
Oh, Jeff, have you been watching this stream
No,
since the start?
I have.
Jeff.
No, I haven't. Well, no, I've been staying away from YouTube as much as possible. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't.
Okay, did you see my Instagram post?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I
did
don't
you hear
think,
NVCap Mr. Red Button and
Yes.
Dragon Queen the other night?
I don't know a Dragon Queen.
Did
I
you
don't have
listen
that
to any
account.
of this stream before you jumped on?
Yeah.
Um,
Why did you? Can I ask? What did you have of? What did you want to come up here to? Okay.
He wanted to
Uh,
raise his hand to let everyone know that he was also victimized by Regina George.
Who's that?
So, Jeff, I don't want to say that it's kind of rude, but it's kind of rude to not watch someone stream and then come up and 90 minutes in act oblivious to what the previous minutes were discussing. It's just rude. That's fine. I mean, you're up here now, but it's rude. My title of my stream is Education Stream About Abuse. What qualifies? ? Underneath in the description is let's assist Jimbo with understanding abuse and what qualifies so he need not ask again. It's all in relation to Damone, who is known as Jimbo by me now, who has used that term on before, because he posited, yes, is a word, posited the question the other night to Ryan in VCAP Fireside, that if a 15-year-old paid an adult female for sex, would it be considered abuse?
Yes.
And he posited, yes, you see how you didn't, do you really think you need to ask a question like that? No. Do I need to ask a question, should CP be illegal? Should a 15-year-old send an adult, or should an adult receive or send CP? No, yeah, illegal. It's very simple. But Damone, Jimbo, needed to posit that question, and he did it in a manner that made it seem as though he didn't think that it was abuse, didn't think that there was a victim, didn't maybe think it should be illegal. I don't know exactly. He can explain to himself more.
Okay.
There was an emergency stream this afternoon in which he could address it. The only thing that he did was drag me and claim that he doesn't know anything that I say or follow anything that I say.
All right.
But he does know that he can regularly and routinely call me a faggot and a fruit.
Can he finish?
I didn't hear that. Can you play it or? I'm not caught up with everything.
Jeff, I'm not here to be your Tommy boy. Okay,
No,
I'm not
no,
here to play clips. You
I'm
just had. It's like, what does
I-
playing a clip for you have to do? Chuckles stated you dragged her. You then wanted a clip. We heard the clip, and then we wanted to know why you said
And
that.
yeah, he
after
was
we
like, he
spent-
blamed the alcohol or
and
something.
then you wanted it into a Bill Clinton type answer.
Okay. I'm just trying to talk. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, we know you're very bad at it.
Okay. I didn't hear that from, I guess you call him Jim Boy, James, Damone, whatever. I didn't hear that, so I don't know anything about that. That's the thing. I haven't been getting involved in too much YouTube for a couple of weeks, so
Well,
no.
you've been
All right.
on a-
Well, there's so many questions. There's so little time. So let's just get a quick answer.
Jeff, you
you
really
know?
say that because you've been on a few panels. I'm just being honest with you. You've been on a few panels, so I've seen you in comments. You can't say you haven't,
Two or three, yeah, give or take, yeah.
but you've also been in comments of streams and stuff too. So although I
Three or
didn't,
four, yeah.
although I didn't watch it, what he's talking about, I have a general understanding of what happened. I don't think it's extremely hard to have the general understanding after what he just said.
Good
Hmm?
Lord. What
Okay.
name I think of
So-
here?
Well,
Uh,
this is so. Let me just get back to this start. Jeff, what did you want to do up here on this stream? What do you want to address, if anything, or anyone?
honestly, I just came up to say hi, Sam. And
Okay.
to
All right. Okay.
address a few things.
Okay. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I-
Hope life is good. Hope you're not being dragged too much, and you're addressing it all with clarity and conviction that we all can understand and follow.
Can I talk a second?
Can I ask another question real quick though? Haystack, and I do feel a little bit. I don't want to. Haystack wants to know, why did you put the locksmith content behind your membership plans, and how many members have you? Is explosive growth in memberships?
No, I have 3.
Okay.
I
Well,
met all the requirements to share something. You have to change at least 3 out of 5 requirements, and I did that. So I don't know. There's only one actually. I did find out after I finally set up my memberships after over a year that I have to put so much stuff on there at a time, like within a week or month or whatever it is.
No, you do
So-
not. You do not.
Yeah,
No,
Actually,
you do not. Anyone who has had memberships can tell you that is not fact. That is something YouTube suggests, and you do not.
okay.
They want you to do one thing for
Okay.
membership, one video, like for members. They want you to make a post, and they want you to have some sort of content for members when you first start.
Okay.
They suggest. I don't feel like you're listening when you
hold on.
okay. It's kind of like bobbleheading right now.
I am simply riding this wave of interacting, much like sort of. I'm not dragging
Wait,
Jeff here.
Sam.
This is not a drag
Oh,
Jeff
okay.
stream.
Yeah, he's
Cat
not
Eyes.
Oh,
dragging.
This is
not?
simply.
He's not dragging.
No,
it.
we're
Okay.
simply riding a wave, and we're going to take us wherever
We're
Jeff's words take us
they're
to.
they're not
which
going
could be
anywhere,
anywhere.
though.
Well, no, I know, but we're riding it anyway.
I'm
Okay.
trying. I just.
I know.
don't
Maybe
know.
think about what you're gonna say, and then kind of create like a concise statement with a beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
So back to I hate to get Haystack posed a question. Why did you put Locksmith's content under a membership so that your tres miembros can watch it?
First of all, I met the requirements to put that content on there without being striked. I read the TOS on that. So I changed the
Okay.
contrast, the brightness, the zoom, the blah, 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 blah.
What?
So I met the requirements on that. And then I put one was supposed to be a short. It didn't go up as a short. 2 and 3 did. And then number 4, I went ahead and put it on members because it says I have to put something else on members tier.
No, I have
think it's
memberships.
number
That's false.
2.
You don't
Okay,
need to.
maybe I understood it wrong. I mean, I'm just being honest. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to do the right thing.
Mhm.
If
Yeah,
I'm
well,
wrong, I'm
when
wrong.
you just kind of look around and see what everyone else is doing, and you think that that's the right thing, that's not the right thing ever.
No, I just
Well-
watched a video on YouTube.
Not
Yeah.
not everyone goes and changes the contrast and tone and brightness of their videos to match YouTube TOS. That's pretty rare. So I think Jeff's on the right path.
To use somebody else's content and put a paywall on it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Do you know
That
what this
sounds
community
very creative, actually.
He's on the right path. He exposed FCC.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Well, it's strange. Like, did he expose
No,
FCC
no.
or did he
I
expose?
did a video tonight on that and just released it like a couple hours ago.
Denise will be exposing FCC.
Jeff, that video, it was 30 seconds of you saying something about the video, and then it was 7 minutes and 30 seconds of you saying that you didn't need to explain yourself to people and that you're going to get off. You literally spent 3 minutes getting off of the video.
Okay.
I mean, Jeff, can I ask you something else? What was that strange
Hold
clip
on.
that you did
Let me
indeed
finish.
put out? You post
You are
that
taking too long to
50
finish,
of-
Jeff.
You posted that 50-second clip of FCC talking about the Ray debacle.
Right.
Are you looking at finally accomplishing what Tommy Boy Studios never could, which was a Ray exposure video? Are you working on that? Because I will pay for that.
No. You.
Oh, well, you were kind of giving us a little taste for what was coming, but there's nothing left.
Sam, did you see the last actual video I posted on my channel? It's an actual video.
Is it for one of the members?
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
a member
no,
yet.
No. It was just released like a couple hours ago. I explained that because something I wanted to explain in my live video. It wasn't about bashing FCC or Ray at all. It was about telling people that FCC actually showed his real feelings on Ray and how a lot of us actually feel because a lot of us really liked Ray and FCC was explaining that. But he also explained some of the weird stuff too. That's all that was about. I don't,
Oh, so there was like nothing. There was nothing further. That was it.
Do you ever
It
make
was
your
you.
own judgments, like independently of other people? We all liked Ray. It's like, why do you need to make decisions about other people that are just the popular opinion?
Wasn't $500 back on, man.
It's weird.
Right.
It's like I just think for yourself. It's not that difficult. Do they not teach you this at church?
Okay, we do have some other guests, and we've now reached the maximum of my
Do
restream
not
guest
let
list.
FCC up.
Let him up.
Welcome, Bobby Joe, first time on the channel.
Ah,
FCC
this-
Dingo, long time.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
long time listener and a long time caller.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the Mandingo thing comes from?
well, I think it's from the Django, but I could be wrong.
All right, let me just
Well,
put a
it's
full disclosure
Mandingo
here. A
is
disclosure
forever
is this
changing.
was not a Jeff drag stream. Jeff came up here to say hi to me, and
Yeah.
let's keep it light. Let's keep it moving. Bobby, you don't go in too much for the throat. Now, maybe you're coming after me, Bobby.
She's
I don't
probably
know which
coming
one
after
you're
me
doing.
too.
Well,
Who knows?
okay.
It could be any of
Hey,
us at this point.
relax. I
She
don't
wants
always
blood.
just come after everybody.
She's
No.
She's
probably
actually
coming
calm
after
tonight.
me and
Jesus
Chuckles.
Christ.
She
Yeah.
does
Can I-
sound
Well,
can
if you could,
Not
if you could
just-
mute Bobby, I've got something to say to Jeff.
I will not be muting.
No,
Okay,
you
I'll-
don't
I'll
need
mute
to
her. I'll mute
mute
her.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, why would I mute
FCC.
Bobby? No, what the
I
hell?
wonder-
Bobby, relax, Bobby.
Can you
Hey,
mute
Jeff.
Chuckles?
Dingo, go
Jeff,
ahead.
No,
Tell us
I'm
about the
glad
radio.
that we have this
FCC.
platform.
FCC.
What?
I don't know what happened with FCC.
Before you
A lot,
start,
a lot, Chuckles. A
He's
lot.
alive and well.
It's
A lot's
actually-
happened.
that,
Ooh,
Transformed.
that
it's been a
was-
lot.
Transforming to
that
Dingo.
was actually to
It's
promote-
Waiting to
challenging,
be exposed.
challenging times. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
No, FCC. I did a video on that recently. It was to promote your actual feelings towards Ray, but also to promote Ray's actions and
He
feelings.
still has feelings for him.
Yeah, I
towards
hear
you.
that. I think I don't really have anything to say about the technical aspects of what you did, but I do feel
Right.
like you kind of you stole a little bit of my heart without asking me. It felt like my intellectual like heartbeat was taken and used without my knowledge. I got my DMs were blowing up, Jeff, and people were like, "Jeff is exposing you,"
And they never do.
and they
No,
don't, but
I
they
wasn't.
did the other day. But my phone was off the hook. Like my house was fucking a mess for a whole day trying to figure out what was happening.
Oh,
It cost me money. I couldn't work. I was a
Well,
mess.
sell the
dude.
hot tub.
Jeff,
You know,
I think you owe your membership money to FCC for that.
I didn't know that it.
From
I
your
didn't
3
know that it
members.
was coming, and so that's my only issue. Just you have to give people a heads up because we all have lives. and
Hey,
it's like
Dingo, you went like you do.
It was
You sort
disruptive.
of trounce around this community on other people's channels, on other people's content. And, like now, everything's being recorded now. I'm going to be using your name and likeness and image. Strangely enough, I'm going to actually get paid for it, even though we can barely get people to listen to you for free, FCC. When you go,
barely.
Dingo, when you go on other people's channel, like you were desperate to go on Jeff's panel, he can use you.
Yeah,
like
I get that.
any way he sees
I
fit.
understand.
And he did use
I-
you.
Wait.
And I'm sorry
again,
you have
I
buyer's.
said,
You
I'm
have panel
I'm not
remorse.
concerned about the technical pieces of it.
Yeah,
I just think
well,
like
what's
man
the
to man,
non-technical
hombre
part?
to
Okay.
hombre, like we should
Like
have
you
had a
didn't have with Ray.
conversation. He could have called me. Jeff has
Wait,
my
why-
number.
Is this man Dingo or is this FCC?
Same
It's
Yes.
thing.
He's
They
transformed.
sound the
It's
same.
both.
What?
It's both. It's both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I
Duh.
didn't know that you had a different identity now.
Well, lots happened.
Yes, he had to
Chuckles.
get over.
Lots
Yeah,
happened.
he's had a lot.
Whew,
Okay,
man,
all right.
It's gone on.
Crazy.
He's tried to put in his past.
Yeah, and it
Denise
keeps coming,
will
but it
not be
keeps
letting him
coming
get
back. It keeps coming back, which is the problem.
Bobby Joe, I don't want to keep.
Sorry,
What's going
I'll
on,
let
Bobby
Bobby
Joe?
Joe
What
talk.
do you
Go
got
ahead.
going on tonight?
I'm just enjoying the bullshit. Jeff, why do you sound drunk?
Well, I don't want to question.
not.
I don't really like to
Wow,
question
that
people's
was
sobriety
quick. Whoa,
publicly.
I haven't
whoa,
drank
Bobby
whoa.
Joe,
Well,
I don't
you know
think
I
you
get
sound
Again.
straight
drunk,
to the
but
Bobby
point,
Joe,
but
no,
coming
I
in
know
hot
you do
again.
dig straight to the point. But I would
I-
ask that we just let him. He's on some medications. He's got some prescriptions for medical stuff. Cookies and stuff. And he may.
Okay.
I don't believe he's drunk. Jeff, you're sober, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say Bobby Joe has a good connection tonight, better than the other night when she came up on Nunez to like attack me. I couldn't even hear her. It was like
FCC, that's because you were drunk that night and you don't know what the hell happened. But
No,
anyways,
I know what happened, Bobby Joe, but I'm glad that you got a better
Okay.
connection. So kudos. Go ahead.
kudos.
So what
so
we
you
got
want-
you here, Dingo, though, and to go back to that content that Jeff definitely put together was great stuff. What was the Ray debacle? What Jeff exposed you on when you referred to the Ray debacle? Can you outline for us what exactly the Ray debacle was?
I maybe
Like, really
debacle
get into
was
the
like
specifics.
the wrong term. I think you could say like a shitstorm or a quagmire. Maybe a quagmire is a good word that we could use to describe the situation. It was a lot. There was a lot happening behind the scenes. A lot happening.
Yeah, Tommy Boy melting down
On the front of the scenes. The Discord server was on fire. And things were moving very quickly. And the reality of it is that Ray was way ahead of us. He was way ahead of everybody. And I think he got too far ahead of his people. And ultimately, at the end of the day, he found himself up on that lonely mountain hilltop all alone. Do
you think he recorded his phone calls?
honestly,
Honestly.
I don't know. Not sure.
So did Ray come back or no?
He never left.
Oh, he's
He
here.
never
Yeah.
left.
He's here somewhere.
He took a break for a
And-
while.
No,
Never
he
left.
didn't.
No.
He's
After
still
after
here.
the Edward stuff, no?
No, Bobby Joe's been tracking his movements and his alts.
Bobby Joe knows
Knows.
calls
Oh,
out
yeah.
bullshit, and she's called
No.
out my. She knows that he sticks around.
I
He's been
figured
watching
that,
him.
like, a lot of times I'm not around and people talk shit about me, so I figured I'd just come up since I noticed you were on panel, so you
Who?
could say what you got to say about me when I'm actually here.
Who are you talking to?
Anybody specific, Bobby Joe?
Sam, you're number one. We can start with you.
Nobody said anything about you.
Okay,
Shut the
Shut the fuck up.
I've
You don't know
never.
what the fuck's been
I
going
thought
on.
this was
I've
about
never-
Jeff. I thought this
I've-
was about Jeff.
I mean, I don't really have anything negative to say about you, Bobby Joe.
Now you don't?
I'm trying to dig into my deep pocket of anti Bobby Joe material, and I made a joke one time months ago that you said you were going to show up to a Ed court hearing to protest or whatever, and I was totally joking, and you took it as serious.
Oh,
And then
you
you really-
said that Don
you
Diva
hit the
confirmed
gas.
that I said that. So now,
Bobby
okay.
Joe, it was a total,
Wow.
complete sarcastic joke.
Bobby
Joe.
Joe.
Okay.
Bobby Joe keeps
And
receipts.
I think
we all
I
know
said
that.
it several times that it was joking at the end
FCC,
when
why
I saw
don't
that
you
you
shut up?
react.
I didn't even fucking
too
talk
much.
when you talk, so have some respect, motherfucker. Anyways, continue. I didn't hear
And
what
so
you said.
that was a complete. So in full disclosure, I was
Motherfucker, Jesus
totally
Christ.
joking. If I ever use things that and Vic's now complaining you never call him anymore, Bobby Joe. But the idea is
You
that
get on the
I
phone.
was absolutely joking. Okay. So what other talking shit? I don't think I talked shit else about you. Maybe on the Ed illegally released jail calls, I might have said your name once or twice in a funny, light context, but it was not meant to talk, two-faced shit. I mean, you've been pretty at me, I would say, over the months. And
I was at the beginning of the Ed shit, yeah, because you were talking shit behind people. Like, I know more than you think I know, Sam, and you should know that.
okay.
She hacked your.
Well, I
Cash
mean,
App.
we have a mutual person that we know, and I
Exactly.
respect a lot.
So-
and
That sounds like a threat.
and
Yeah.
I know more.
No,
than
I don't
I
think she
should
should. I know.
I
Stay
don't
the
get
fuck
that.
out of it. Fucking mind your business.
That sounds like a threat.
That's a fucking
Yeah,
problem.
Fucking Californian, shut up.
I mean, we have a mutual person that I respect a lot, and I said something in those illegally released calls about that person that I feel bad about, I regret, and I've attempted to apologize for that comment, and I have not been successful at getting through. So, but that doesn't change the fact that I respect that person a lot, and I wasn't. If you consider me being two-faced in that particular comment, Bobby Joe, or you remember that comment that I made.
Oh,
It was I do owe that person an apology.
I remember
And
a lot
have
of
not-
comments, like
Okay.
a couple Ed didn't, or you were upset Bill gave or put me on his stream, and Ed didn't to put out Colfax a long motherfucking time ago.
Well,
But
yeah, but I mean, going back to that, you did hold a JT exposure stream, right? And
yeah,
you brought forward some things about JT that turned out to be not true. And I think
no,
you subsequently apologized to JT, but the
It
fact
was
is
the
you
one-
did have that.
it was the one sentence about how he reacted with the little boy. That was it. No fucking kids or nothing or fucking corpses. That was never came out of my mouth. I said he was upset the way the kid was already dressed in the coffin. That's what I said on Bill's stream. So go back; it's still up.
Well, right, and I think that
And-
you were. What were you alluding to, though? I guess in that comment.
That's
It was
what
taken
it
out of
said in the Marshallist freaking thing that he wrote.
Right, and just that whole.
But it was all
you know.
fixed. Like me and Colfax are cool. Like, well,
No, I
cordial,
no,
you know, like
Bobby,
everything's
Bobby
fine.
Joe. I'm not saying that you guys are not fine now. I'm not
I
saying
would
that you
say
haven't
check the
subsequently
chat.
apologized.
Chat is pretty revealing.
But the fact is that a lot of stuff goes down in the moment, and people can get really hurt really quickly. And if you don't have a good sort of sense of self, and people can really get hurt on the internet if they're, and so anyway, I'm not here to
Are
look.
you figuring
is
that
past.
out? Like,
Huh?
I said, are you figuring that out now after like really talking shit about people behind their backs and all that stuff? Like,
I mean, I don't, if you,
Wow, the comments are coming in. Wow.
let them come in.
I
don't
think
care.
Bobby Joe, I'm not the only one that talks shit in this community and behind people's back. I would bet that
And Bobby
most
Joe has
everybody in
never
this
talked
community.
shit. So let's get
I'm
that clear.
guessing, but the thing about Bobby
I'll
Joe, I
say it
think
right
most
to
of the time
your
she
face,
talks shit.
FCC, you
She
know
talks
it.
shit right in people's face.
Yeah, and you
That
say
is
it
true.
behind
Damn
people's
fucking
back
right.
all the time.
Okay.
That's okay.
I mean, if
Standards,
your
you have double
criticism of me is that I'm
standards.
two-faced and I'm talking shit behind people's back, then I acknowledge that I have done that, and
No,
I
I
think
don't
that
think so.
everybody has.
I don't think
Sam,
so.
I think we can all agree most people don't talk shit behind people's backs on recorded phone calls.
No, there's a lot of idiots out there actually who do it on panels even.
Chuckles,
Oh,
can I
Lord.
talk? Can I finish?
I don't know, can you?
Okay, I'm done now.
Well, let's make sure Bobby Joe's done talking. Are
Bobby
you done,
Joe,
Bobby Joe?
are there any other people that you come at, or are we done with me, or do we still?
So,
Do you
what,
have
I
anything to
can't
say to
just
Jeff?
chill here and
Wait.
freaking.
No, you can say here.
You're
no,
quite
you can say here, but
intimidating, Bobby Joe, when you're here.
I don't give a
well, you
fuck
make me a little.
what
You're
you
making me a little
mean.
nervous.
It feels
honestly, but,
unsafe. It feels unsafe. I think you should leave.
It's
You're
not
the
a safe
bully.
space.
You're the bully.
No,
I-
it's not a
I'm
bully.
the
but I
Not
do
bully
want to
bullies.
say
because I
here.
Yeah.
tell the truth.
It's not a safe space.
You're the community
So
bully.
no, back to Jeff here real quick, because while I have him here,
He's
and
staying.
FCC together.
Thank you, Sam.
So FCC, you had a Ray debacle situation in which you felt you scampered away because that whole Ray debacle, right?
You said it was more of a quagmire.
and
yeah.
you said it. Yeah, we have Jeff pay for his content. You can see what you said. I want you, Jeff, to pay for his content to see what you said.
Wow.
But
Okay.
you clearly used the term debacle. But the fact of the matter is that you ran from the community for a while. I think you took down your Instagram. You started communicating and talking shit about people behind the back.
I did not. No. Chill. Let me talk here.
Okay, let him finish.
No,
Talking to
I-
FCC.
Let him
I
finish.
actually stuck up
What?
for. I
Okay.
actually was sticking up for FCC. My Instagram
No, I was talking
is
about
still up.
FCC, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. He's talking about something else.
I was hammering him.
Yeah, he's coming at me
Oh.
now, so you can
Yeah.
stand down. You're safe.
But Jeff, I think we all were very interested to know what direction you were using that clip as, like a teaser.
Okay, first of all, I never shut down my IG. First of all, second of all,
FCC did after the Ray debacle. Yeah, he got super scared and ran.
Yeah, no, I shut everything down.
Yeah,
I-
sort of like Tommy Boy, shut it
I
down,
moved-
took down
I
his
moved.
videos.
Very
I-
brave of you. Yeah.
I moved. I put on like 15
It was
pounds.
so threatening and so scaring out
Um,
there with the Ray debacle.
Yeah, I got.
in which
I contracted diabetes.
I have to say
yeah.
the most bizarre thing to me, the only thing that stuck out to me out of all the weirdness and shit that goes on is after that Ray debacle and that shit was going down, that was the last time you talked to him, was the very time he actually asked you to turn your camera on so he could see you. That did strike me as
what?
As a bombshell.
Well, yeah, no, I've said it many
Oh.
times. Yeah, that happened.
Would you say
No,
it
but
might?
during all that, that's
can
like
I answer?
he could use.
I mean, you're giving
well,
Jeff,
I
it's
didn't- I wasn't
Jeff.
talking
It's,
to you,
it's
Jeff.
my time. Sorry, I'm not on panels much, Jeff. So
Jeff, he wasn't
Um,
talking
yeah,
to you.
like-
He was talking to FCC.
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
but
I'm
Jeff,
gonna get some water.
your
real quick
strange
there.
Sounds,
I'll be right
sounds like a
back.
plan. Go
clip.
ahead, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'll be
How about
right
you
back.
just
Teasing
don't,
us.
you
I'm gonna-
just take your time.
Go ahead, Sam.
Jeff, you have the floor.
Okay, all right. um, okay, with FCC, I was actually sticking up for him on that more than anything at all. But I was also understanding his point because Ray was a cool person to talk to until he wasn't. Does that make sense?
You don't make
It
sense.
does. No, it does. It does. But
Tell us your Ray
again,
story,
I will
Jeff.
say, Jeff.
I'll be right
yeah,
back.
you go ahead.
I'm
I'll fill
listening.
in.
Take
Let
your time.
me
I'll
cover
be
the
right
gap
back.
here. Go ahead. And I think Jeff is right. I don't doubt his story, but the Ray debacle, or quagmire, as I call it now, was very traumatizing for me and my family. in my community, to be quite honest. And it shook me to my core. So much so that I had to delete several social media accounts that I may have created solely for to represent myself in this community. And it was difficult to come back into the community a whole 5 days later under a new moniker. My PR team worked tirelessly for 5 days straight to generate the new rebrand of Mandingo from FCC. And it's still not there's still some confusion over it, right? My whole thing.
We saw that tonight.
Yeah, exactly. It's still happening. So clearly a messaging PR debacle, right?
I don't want to go back to, because we're losing audience, FCC. So I'm trying to go back to what people are here for. Can we go through, Bobby Joe? You have called out Jeff on specific lies that he's stated. I'm not trying to do this to generate content or anything. I specifically have not been given a list of specific lies that Jeff has told that he has admitted to lying about. So Bobby Joe probably knows better than most. Do we have a list of actual lies that he's acknowledged or that we know are a lie?
I was only there on 2 panels, and it was more to support him, to try to get him counseling. But I did jump up there because he was lying. He was saying he was friends with Madonna. Freaking, he was going to get a contract. Yeah, he admitted he's not friends with Madonna.
Okay, acknowledged.
That girl, oh my God, baby Ivy said that he had
Mama Ivy.
People, oh yeah, thank you. Saying he was going to get her $1 million contract and all this shit because he knew people. He admitted that was a lie. I think those are really only the 2 things that I've heard that he confessed to, I believe. But there's a lot more that.
So he's actually not acknowledged. He's only really acknowledged 2 sets of lies.
4, actually.
Oh, Jeff, can you say them?
Welcome back, Jeff.
Oh, now he has a good memory.
What are the specifics of your Jeff?
Hold on,
you just said that you've lied 4 times. You've acknowledged them. Tell us where you lied.
Today or
let him catch up. Let him catch up.
You don't even know what the fuck's going on. Relax. Let him.
I am allowed to not know what's going on.
If you shut up,
everybody calm down.
This is the first thing I've said in at least 5 minutes, so you need to chill out.
Oh Lord.
Bobby Joe, go start your motorcycle. You'll feel better.
I'm rubbing it up right now.
Sounds good.
Go ahead, Jeff.
FCC, Django. Sorry, you remind me of Kane on there. Just calm down. No, seriously. So I addressed a few things on the last stream, and Mommy and Ivy talk on the phone every day almost. So, there is a possibility she could get something when she comes here because of another catcher who knows a hip hop artist or whatever.
Yeah.
And somebody.
No, she's got talent. That's clear. I mean, do you remember when I cold called her to do a karaoke version of "I'm Still Loving You" by the Scorpions, and she knocked it out of the fucking park.
Right.
What a magical moment that was on your stream.
But Jeff, you admitted that was a lie.
Some of it
was still a magical stream.
She sang the song. It was brilliant.
No,
it was good.
Okay.
He's saying that when she comes over, she'll have what was the first couple sentences you said? When she comes over here, she's gonna have people.
Yes, she will. I mean, I don't remember everything I said, obviously, but no.
Well, no, you just said it now, 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. No, she will. I was hoping a certain person, I don't want to say the person without their permission, but there's a certain person who knows somebody in the music industry. Actually, I just uploaded a video recently because of that person. And then myself, who knows certain people and somebody else. So there's a good possibility she could. Now, did I overdo it by saying $1 million contract? Yes, I did oversay that. Yeah. I'll go ahead and call that a lie.
Maybe
Yeah.
like $1 million over
Actually, not to
time,
cut-
over like 4 years.
Not to cut you off or anything, but when you did say that on stream, you promised me you would send me a text message, just a screenshot
Right.
of. Okay, so I still have not got any screenshot of somebody that is interested in her singing.
Ooh.
And yeah, and I said that was a lie on my last stream, my last live. I said that was a lie.
Okay, but you just said
I
it
did.
now again that when
Well,
she comes
if-
over, somebody's interested in her.
Bobby Joe, if I say it's an over exaggeration or an under exaggeration or whatever, I'm going to be called a liar. So until that actually, if it actually happens, I have to say I lied, right? Right?
Okay,
What?
but are you lying now or like about everything, or like you're contradicting yourself? Like right now you are.
Yeah,
Bobby
nothing
Joe.
Jeff says is valid.
I
Well,
don't have it.
Chuckles, no.
I don't have-
Well, that was
I
that
mean,
was
that's
a
a little
blanket. That
extreme.
was
Can I
extreme.
answer?
That's
No,
extreme.
but-
Yeah, we
I
don't
mean,
do
it-
blanket. We don't do
Yeah.
blanket
I mean,
statements
it's
in this
hard
community.
to take him
Come on.
seriously like that. Oh, you don't do
Chuckles,
blanket
we are
statements.
critical
Okay, yeah.
thinkers.
No, you're
Thank
not.
you.
No,
we
you're not.
are. We
Did
are.
somebody tell you to say that?
We
Oh
are.
my God,
Thank you.
Chuckles, please.
Mute up, Chuckles.
I said one
Jeff,
thing.
You said
Chuckles.
that you were going to acknowledge 4 direct and specific lies that you've told in this community. And all I'm asking for by the time we end this stream is that you list those.
All right.
Can you list them?
Which ones? There's like 8
Start
or
which
9.
whichever one you want to. You said there was 4.
There's like, I think Ed and I came to like 6 or 9. I don't remember every little thing. I wish Ed was here.
Well, you just said 4. Now it's 6 or 9.
I think.
Well, he did say 8 or 9
Okay.
earlier, so I'm leaning towards the 9 is probably true. But he did just say 4 that he knows
I don't
for a
like-
fact.
Jeff, would you say that you're a pathological liar?
Whoa,
Sam, can I say something real quick? FTK
You're not allowed
is
to say
either
that.
FTK is either not talking or he's talking erratically. So if he could chime in more consistently, because when he
Yeah,
comes
we
in
need to hear more
randomly,
men voices.
it's kind
Yeah.
it's kind of startling. It's a little startling.
Yeah, we need more male voices
Yeah.
like in the boys club, like you and FTK were. Yeah.
I don't
Tell
want
us,
to
boys.
make
Sorry.
Jeff angry.
You two boys.
I don't want Jeff to have to ask if he can finish repeatedly. I feel
Then
very
just
rude
finish.
when that
Yeah.
happens. So
Let me just go over the definition
can I
of
finish? Can I
pathological
It's
lying.
somebody
Can
who
I
like
finish?
lies a lot. No, you
Go
can't.
ahead.
finish? Shut up, Chuckles.
Actually, Sam, please go ahead. Seriously.
Let's let FTK go.
Oh, I just wanted to finish with "Shut up, Chuckles." All right, Jeff, you have the mic.
That's
Pat-
my favorite
No,
song.
Yeah.
actually.
I want-
Pathological lying is defined by some experts as lying 5 or more times daily,
Mm.
every day, for longer than 6 months.
I'm
There
familiar.
are
No.
different types of lying with symptoms that are similar to pathological liar signs, including habitual lying, white lying, and compulsive lying. That credited to the Newport Institute on Jeff studies. So, what do you think you fit that definition?
Jeff Freddy's,
Can I
what?
finish? Sorry.
This
No, hold on. I'm listening to Sam.
it's just something that's the name of this institute.
We need like a buzzer every time he
So-
lies.
Yeah, stand down, Chuckles. Go ahead.
For real.
Do
Well,
you
no,
have
no,
you do
no,
you
no,
think
no.
that you fit that definition, Jeff?
Sam, repeat
Yeah?
that correctly, not incorrectly. Sir.
Pathological lying is defined by some experts as lying 5 or more times daily, which I guess you have to acknowledge that you were a liar. It's not a mental health diagnosis. This is not a mental health problem. However, the word pathological indicates there is an underlying pathology at play or illness catalyzing the lying behavior. Individuals who did not get their needs met as children may begin lying as a coping mechanism in attempt to get the love and reassurance they crave. Through therapy, people can become more aware of their lying behaviors and patterns and the reasons they lie. In addition, treatment can help them address underlying mental health disorders and childhood trauma. So,
Wait,
Sorry.
can I talk to Sam?
Go
you're
ahead.
talking to yeah?
No, I never. Oh my gosh. I lied. Like I said, I think it was like 6 to 9 times in 3 or 4 months when I was drinking. That was it.
Whoa. We
You
got
want
How
to
about
go
the
back
guitar
to a
solo
year
on a
ago
Pantera
when
song?
you were on bad guy stream? You want to go back to then?
Oh, he
Like-
set me up. He screwed me over too.
Yeah, let's be fair, Bobby Joe. That was a setup. That was mean.
Oh,
How about the guitar solo on a Pantera
Hold
song?
on.
That was the
Hold
very
on.
beginning when
I-
the bad
I
guy
can
started
answer
to
if
like
you let me
reveal
finish.
his true like evil character. A
Jeff,
lot of
we're
people turn on the
defending
bad
you.
guy at that point in time.
We're defending
Jeff,
you.
Jeff doesn't lie
Can
on
I
opposite
answer?
day. On opposite
Hold on,
day,
can
he's
I
always
answer?
right.
Fuck the bad guy. He's a piece of
Can
shit.
I answer?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Can I answer?
No.
Oh my gosh. I haven't
According to
even
mail order.
Okay. Oh, by the way, he tried to get a hold of me like 3 days ago, but anyways.
Okay, a clock, even a
No, hold on. Let me finish.
Let's prove that one.
okay, but
Sam,
even
can
a
I
broken
finish?
clock is right twice
All right,
a
I'll
day.
leave. I'll leave.
Chuckle,
I'll leave.
stop.
I'll leave. If I can't finish, I'll leave.
No, go ahead, Jeff.
This whole
You
stream
have
has
the
been
floor.
Jeff finishing.
You've had.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to mute everybody. You can go. Go ahead.
Okay. You don't have to mute everybody. Okay, so the day that Bad Guy and I talked, it was over the Christmas holidays. He apologized to me. He was being real nice. He was saying this. He was saying that. And I felt comfortable telling him that a family member of mine at work got 2 items because he was in AC/DC and he got them for me. And I started to open. And it was supposed to be a secret because if I opened it on air, they're going to want receipts. The receipts have addresses, autographs, etc., etc. And I said, okay, I got these, and I think it's pretty cool, but I don't want to talk about it on air because they're going to want receipts. He brought it up when he brought everybody down. I started to open one box. I didn't even open the other box yet. And I know it's an Angus Young poster with an autograph. I know that much because I was told. I haven't even opened it yet
You were.
because I got so. Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got-
you can finish. But just FYI, Jeff, people in the chat
I mean,
are
as
like
long
a little,
as there is a
they're
finish,
a little lost.
is there a
They're
finish?
a little lost. So bring us
Is
home.
there a
Bring us
finish?
home, baby.
Can I
Bring us home.
Can I?
You
can
can
I
finish if there's an ending.
Let's
Can I
even stick to
finish?
that. How about the 50 doxes you said you had?
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you explained that, Bobby Joe, actually. Okay, I'll skip that part to say this. Okay,
You're having a stroke.
what?
I'm responding to Chillin' Missy.
Yeah, somebody's mic is fucked up.
What is that?
There's like an echo.
Yeah, okay, just
Whose is
stop.
that?
Okay, so
Bobby Joe, I think that was you. Someone said that they thought they were having a stroke. I just want to do a wellness check. Chillin' Missy misdemeanor. Am I having a stroke or we may be having a collective stroke. So no.
Yeah. Blood thinners.
But
blood
still do a
thinners.
wellness. Take a Advil. Go ahead, Jeff.
all right. First of all, look back. I'm on medical medication right now. I should be asleep, to be honest with you. So there you go with that. But anyways, so I told Bad Guy, I said, this is private. I don't want to go on the internet because they're going to want receipts. The receipts have their addresses on there in New Zealand.
So block out the address.
Yeah, New Zealand, ACDC, in Australia,
Block out the address.
Orlando, or Florida, whatever.
Well, let's not relitigate the addresses
No,
if you're concerned
Sam,
about you're
Let me
not going to produce a receipt
Sam,
because it
let me
has
finish.
information,
Let
but you're
me-
going to sit
let
here
me
and say it.
finish. Let me finish. This was like minutes before the live.
You should change the name of this video to "Let Me Finish."
You know, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay,
You've
I'll-
did nothing
I'll-
but finishing.
Yay!
We don't want to see you leave.
I mean, never mind.
Jeff,
You should totally stay.
get some
I'll
rest,
leave.
Jeff. If you're
All
going to
right.
leave,
Yeah,
be
I'll
well. But
leave.
we do want some answers.
Well, let me finish, okay?
Go
So-
ahead, finish. Chuckles, please let him finish.
So
Have
I
some
told
respect.
Bad Guy on a phone call privately around the holidays, around Christmas. He called to apologize, and he said some other things. We cleared some shit up, and I know somebody's typing everything right now. I can hear it.
Can y'all hear me
No,
now?
that's Chuckles with a pen.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can, Bobby Joe, but your mic's got something wrong.
Okay,
with your
can
mic,
you
man.
drop the
I don't know.
link? Because I guess it's fucked up. All right, do I sound all right now?
You sound fine now, but I'll drop the link
Yeah,
again.
you do.
Yeah, what? Okay,
All right.
Jeff, I said we could give you a pass on that with the bad guy. Let's go to the 50 docs as you said you had.
All right. So, over a period of time, I got 50 people, well, maybe more, but whatever, that people gave me information on. I didn't ask for them, they were given to me. And a few I found out, okay. So, yeah, I was drunk, I was stupid, and I was saying that stuff, but I never doxed anybody. Even Ryan can tell you that. I never doxed
No, you didn't
anybody.
dox anybody, and you actually said that it didn't come from other people. It was on another stream or another YouTube channel, and you got it there, and was saying that LB's name was on there. You remember all that?
Yes,
When LB was never on there?
right. And yeah, I was wrong.
Okay, so that one was a lie. All right, so
Right.
all right, what else? What else did you admit to lying about? So we got Madonna, we got the ACDC, we got the 50 doxes.
No,
Oh,
not
the
ACDC.
two.
No.
Okay, no, I'm letting that one slide. I'm sorry, I let that one slide.
Cow. Yeah.
Wait, Sharon Simon Cowell. Wait,
Lies.
what's that?
Lies. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was with Mama Ivy. Okay,
And she knows that.
you don't
too,
know
by the
those
way.
people.
No, I do know those people. Ivy's seen at my niece's wedding. Look, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be talking about this. She's
No,
doing
you
a
know
stream.
Wait, now you know Simon Cowell, and
No,
you
mommy,
do know them.
No, Bobby, Joe.
Yeah.
Savannah has been on my channel. It's a surprise to her. Everybody else knows but her. So I don't want to talk
so
about it too much.
Well, this isn't your channel. This is Sam's. She definitely doesn't watch
True.
Sam's channel. He's
So
Don't
you
forget
are. So now, okay,
Thank
the
you,
part
Mr.
about the $1 million contract was a lie, but the part you're flying her in for your daughter's wedding, that's the truth.
My brother and his wife are, yes.
Okay. How about the one time I was on your panel and you were swearing up and down. You even got asked if you took a breathalyzer at that moment, if it would come up with anything. Do you remember what your response was?
Probably no, but it would have been yes.
No, it wasn't. You responded with, would marijuana come up in a breathalyzer test.
Right. Yeah, I answered that. Yeah.
But you swore up and down you weren't drinking that night.
I was.
Sam, so you know that's a fake Vic, so I don't even know why you're responding to him. But
I was lying.
okay.
Are you? Oh, okay. Sorry, didn't know. Not. Thank you, Bob Joe.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to be honest.
I'm trying to think of the stuff you've said so you can admit if it was a lie or the truth.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying
Bobby
to.
Joe, I've confirmed that is not the fake Vic. That is the real Vic. Is in here. I just checked on the channel.
Oh, really? Okay.
He actually made that. Yeah, that is actually really Vic. Anyway, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt that. Strange comments. I would agree, Bobby Joe. He's
Very
made some strange
comments.
Very strange. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's asking if Sammy Joe has an IG. Vic would know stuff like that, like something. I don't know. Something's
Yeah.
not right, but
Hold on. I gotta answer a question.
go ahead.
Then he said Mommy Ivy was coming to sing at his wedding. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yeah.
Wait, what? Who? What did you? Well, what did Nanya ask you?
Let me scroll up here. Nanya Ghetto Joe said he said Mommy Ivy was coming to sing at his niece's wedding. He said on his panel, yo. Yes, she is. She is gonna be here, yes.
All right.
She's actually a personal friend of mine. I don't know what people don't get about that, but she's actually a friend.
Well, we've seen her on your panel and you on her panel, but to have the money to fly her out, get her visa,
my brother.
That's
my brother and his wife. I should have said. You know what?
Jeff, can you check Jilly Fisher's comment? I've not heard of this before. This is news to me.
Which one?
The most recent.
Will you apologize? That one?
Yes.
Can you put it up on the screen? I can't see it.
Sam, do it.
Says, will you apologize for the lewd comment you left on Mommy Ivy's armpit fetish video? Oh, it just changed, damn it.
Okay, I seen that, and I never said anything rude about it at all.
Fucking Julie.
Are you finished yet?
Not for you, no.
Finish. Can you
okay,
let it? Yeah, for fuck's sake, let the guy finish.
Finish? Oh my gosh!
I don't know. Can you? Are you gonna finish or what?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
I never said anything rude about her thing. That's her culture. That's what they do there. I don't know. I don't understand it. I think it's weird. But
it said lewd, not lewd. Lewd, LEWD, not RUD.
Yes.
No, I never said anything lewd on her armpit comment. If you have a link or whatever, then put it up. But yeah.
Jeff, you said that your daughter, Mommy Ivy was coming out to your daughter. So is it your niece or your daughter?
Niece.
Okay, because you've said daughter before.
Niece.
I think, honestly, in defense, I think he accidentally said daughter. I don't think he meant it because he has said niece repeatedly throughout talking about it on his channel. So I think that was just an accident.
All right. Wait, I had another freaking one. Oh, how about when did you apologize to Ryan with the whole dad situation?
Yeah, I did on my live panel.
Okay. How about with Damone, you threatening to sue him? You were calling the mayor. The mayor was supposed to come up on stream. You were actually texting the mayor at that time.
That I actually addressed him today, I think it was, or yesterday, whatever it was. And I don't remember what that was. So if I told him he could call, hold on, let me finish here.
Vic, I'll give you a minute up here, depending on what you're going to say.
I told him to call me or text me on my phone. He has my number.
Turn your camera off, Vic, if you don't want to be on camera.
And he can address me about that. So
Wait, oh, are you talking about Damone?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, she moved into the mayor and chief of police watching your stream. Can you make comment on that?
Let's take a brief interlude. Vic, you're up on my stream.
Jeff,
Is that really you?
Yeah, man, it's really me.
Whoa, what the
Okay.
fuck?
You know.
Okay. What's on your mind tonight, Vic?
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna let Bobby Joe know that is a real me there in the chat. You know, she thought it was a fake Vic, and I just letting her know that I was a real one. And you know, the start of the stream, you was talking about, you know, teenage male paying for adult female for sex. That is wrong on all levels.
The fuck? Who
Shouldn't
did
even
that?
really-
What's that?
Shouldn't even be a question, should it, Vic?
No, it shouldn't be a question.
Yeah.
I missed
mean,
that. I don't even know
But
what it's about.
see, this is where people kind of get it wrong because it's a male. You know, there's not that big of a stigma. But if it was a female paying an adult male for sex, people would just be all over that. You know.
Right.
So I can see.
Bobby Joe, did you know the context of the earlier part of this stream in which a couple days ago, Jimbo Damone had to need the ask if a male minor child kid paid for sex with an adult female, would that be considered wrong or would that be considered abuse? And he posed that question to Ryan. That was the whole purpose of this stream.
Do you have a-
tonight. We'll discuss that.
No, did not. I have COVID, so I have not been
Oh,
really
okay.
on stream or on my phone all week. So
What were you going to do, FTK, to deflect for Damone?
Oh, I was just asking if you had a clip or a video to.
Oh, right, that deflection. No, it's on my Instagram page. It's very clear. It's out there. You know, I know you're one. You know, don't go ahead, deflect for him. That's fine. You're allowed to deflect on
Is
this
he
channel.
done yet?
But
fucking will you
Yeah.
shut up? You have your own
Sam,
fucking
Sam.
channel, bitch. Go.
Sam,
I'm trying to get 5 more people to like the stream and then I'll leave. So
Yeah,
what
we
was
can
there some
work
strange?
together
Thank you,
here.
Chuckles. What were some of the strange comments in which we didn't? Bobby Joe from Vic, who's really here, he was saying some strange stuff. I didn't see the chat.
I just saw one that said, "Sammy Joe, do you have IG?" Which
Oh.
Vic knows Sammy has IG.
Well, I was trying to look for
Are you
you.
okay?
You know, I had blocked your number, and I can't figure out which one it was that I had blocked.
Oh,
You know, and I
Vic,
just
have you
didn't,
read-
you know, I didn't really want you to give it out in chat, so you know, that's just, you know, one of them things.
But are you talking about Sammy Joe or Bobby
yeah.
Joe?
Bobby Joe,
Yeah,
yeah, Bobby Joe.
Oh.
oh yeah,
Vic,
you
are
put
you-
Sammy
are you-
Joe. That's why.
Yeah, well, I, you know, I get Bobby Joe, Sammy Joe all mixed up. I apologize for that. That was my mistake.
Vic, have you reached the conclusion of your months-long exposures, or do you have more in store for us?
Well, that's here to see. You know, just, you know, it's here to see. You know, you and I can talk about it one-on-one. You know.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, I thought we previously talked one-on-one long
Yeah,
long
we
time
did,
ago.
and
It seems like you got amped up from some stuff or some people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you got sort of hung out there to do your thing.
Right.
You know?
Well, sometimes we'll talk about it, but I can understand, both sides. I mean, it's not like, shame on you when you do that. If I just say that, then I have to say shame on me. I mean, this is like a two-way street. It takes two people to fight and argue. But sometimes, if one person just leaves it alone, then, the other party will keep going or have their, other people to keep going, so.
Do you think you were used by people, Vic?
Well,
do you think people used you to do things? Your channel, your voice?
No. Well, this is the thing. Okay. I just, this stems from last year, toward, September, October with the Penny Ortiz. That's where it all really stemmed from. And then it just escalated a little bit by a little bit by a little bit, and then it became a snowball. Once you, huh?
Sorry, Beck. Go ahead. Oh, Chuckles left. I was just celebrating. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it's like a snowball. Start rolling down the hill. It gets bigger and bigger as it's going down the hill. And I do agree that, it's a lot of it, is getting out of hand. And it's not just me and the other party. It's a lot of other people and the parties that they are having it out with. It's, so, I mean, it's just one big train wreck after another train wreck after another train wreck. And, I haven't gone in other people's chats and start trolling and calling names and leaving really nasty messages and
like good guy. Yeah.
Like
good guy did.
Well, it's not only him, it's a lot of people that's doing it. So, I see people, making streams about me and little clips about me. And, I just, I look at it and I laugh about it. But if I comment, then it makes them relevant. So if I don't comment, then it makes them irrelevant because then they, don't see me being mad. Because that's what they want to do is get me mad. And then I say something and then, that will continue that with these people doing that. And, I'll mention just one person's name, but, I don't want to really call them out, Warbot. Okay. But, by me saying, oh, you're bad for doing that. Well, at the same time, I'm doing the same thing. So if I'm calling him out, I need to be called out also. See, I mean, this is a two-way street. I'm trying to look at it logically, and a lot of people's going to, make fun of that, but that's just the logic of it.
Did you folks have Ed's wife's permission to play her voice?
Yeah.
And that phone call?
Yeah.
Every night as you've done? You did
well,
have
it wasn't every night. When you get the permission to play it,
No, did she give you permission to play it indefinitely, Vic? Like you've been doing?
Well, it's like this. Once that
it's a yes, really, Vic, it's a yes or no answer, really.
Well, there's no answer to that.
Did you get permission from Ed's wife to play her?
We got permission to play the video.
Call,
but see, the thing is, what if I got the video, then other people started playing the video, That's the thing. But see, the thing is, if he stops dragging me, I'll stop dragging him. I haven't.
Who's he? Who's he? Who are you talking about?
I didn't play it for like a week or so, and then when I'd watch his streams, and I wouldn't troll
do
in the
watch Ed's
streams.
streams?
I'd leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? I just to watch, and then when you get Nevermore up there, then they're gonna start dropping stuff. Then I start dropping stuff, and then what'll happen is that just escalates.
Not true, PatCon man.
But I mean, I'm
Did,
not gonna.
Vic, she may have given you consent to record the call.
Hey.
Vic,
Er,
she may have given you consent to play the call
sorry,
one
sorry,
time
sorry,
on the
sorry,
internet.
sorry.
But no, con man, that doesn't give you unvarnished, unrelenting, uncontrollable use of her call.
Okay, well,
Unless you want to re-victimize her.
right. Well, I understand, and I'll,
Here's the proof right here, Haystack Sniper. Here's the proof right here. I've asked Vic if he had indefinite permission to continue to play her audio, and he's saying, I believe what you're saying, Vic, is you never asked her for permission. Did she ever ask you to stop playing her audio?
No, she never asked me.
Did she ever ask anyone else involved in this cabal of whatever you all were doing? Did she ever ask any of you, good guy or anyone else?
I don't know. I don't talk to the good guy.
Hold on. I have to mute.
You didn't have to tell us.
What?
I'm just
Vic,
But,
you continue to play someone's voice and likeness who made several series of concerns in her own family life, and you never went back to her to ask her for if she was okay with you doing what you were doing?
I don't talk to the lady. I only talked to her one time, and then in the video I talked to her, and that was the only time that I had called her lady up.
You all made it like you were in direct communication. You were raising money for her, Vic.
No.
The
good guy was the one. Listen, whoa. The good guy was the one that was talking to her, not me. See, I don't have the type of communication to be talking to her.
Is Jeff okay?
And that's why, when I talked to her the first time, man, she broke down and started crying. I didn't know how to handle that. Okay. Yeah. I reached out to Gabby. I was going to have Gabby talk to her. And then Gabby says, oh, no. Well, first she said, okay, but she didn't do it. And then she said later on, no, we don't want to do it because it'll cause us problems. And I understood that.
Stranger on the internet calling her and talking to her about her personal life. Right. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Jeff, are you okay, Jeff?
Now,
Jeff, are you okay?
Now, I want to say one thing about what you had brought up, re-victimizing her. Okay, I understand that. And I'm considering what you said because I had thought about this for a while, okay, to stop playing that and not play it no more. But when the other parties are coming at me, bringing me up, then I go back to playing it. It's like tit for tat.
So you're using the audio of Ed's wife in which she talks about some deeply personal and complicated and complex
child support
family life,
and
you felt in your mind that because people were talking about you were going to use her audio to get back at them.
The channel just got deleted. The channel that just got deleted had the videos on it, and that's why I went round and round with YouTube about it, and finally they took it down. But I was going to reach out and say, hey man, there should be some kind of truce here. Okay, I'll leave you alone. You leave me alone, and I'll just you won't. I won't never mention your name again.
Do you
And
think?
see, that's what I was going to
Did you
reach
get
out to
something?
you later on to have you become like a mediator.
I don't think Sam is built for that. He's built
Well,
good.
I think Sam,
Well,
he
Can y'all
he
hear
has
me?
some good qualities.
No, Bobby Joe, we can't. Can you yell?
We can hear you, Bobby Joe.
Thanks, Karen.
Go ahead, Bobby Joe. Or BJ. BJ that's your name there.
Yeah, well, if this is StreamYard, she could use her picture, but because it's not fucking Spurgeon.
How are you able to get your logo up there? You squeezed it in. How'd you squeeze your cock into there?
Every time I come up on this motherfucker, I have to go and find the logo.
Bobby Joe, did you need to say something? Vic, as in regards to do you think that people would want to talk to you after what you've done in the last couple months?
No, I lost a bunch of friends. Well, they're not friends. Acquaintances, which really it doesn't. To me, it doesn't really matter. Friends. Acquaintances are not. The respect. Yeah, that kind of hurts a little bit, but hey, that's the nature of the beast. We all gonna lose respect for each other. I mean, look what's happened to a lot of people that has already left the community. Look at what's happening now with other people and where they stand. Okay, now, think about this. Now, Jeff goes over there and hangs out with Ed, and people get mad. Oh, you're a traitor, okay? But yet, then when somebody else is hanging out with somebody else, oh, you're a traitor. Well, that's it's a two-way street. If you're going to call one side out, both sides needs to be called out. I don't really dislike Jeff. If Jeff wants to go and be friends with someone that will accept him to be friends, more power to him. I mean, that is, pretty normal in life. This side of this group over here don't like me. I'll hang out with this group over here because they accept me. Uh, I can't dislike a man for who he hangs out with. And yeah, I have been guilty for calling people out for doing that. But, now that I see that, it's wrong to do, I kind of step back and, let it be the way that they want it to be. Hello?
I'm just processing this.
Oh, okay. I thought I was muted or something.
No, you weren't muted. No one's muted.
But
I'm just
see, we're all
processing
judging.
what you're having to say here.
We're all judgmental creatures, and we judge people by different things. Sometimes we judge them just because of the colors that they wear, or the patterns they wear, the style of clothes they wear. We judge people. We judge people by what color your hair is, or your hairstyle.
Can you hear me? Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Wow. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Was it? Am I extremely?
Jeff, are you still there? Jeff, are you still there? Jeff, are you still there?
Jeff? Sam, I'm presenting a challenge. Use StreamYard next time.
Yo,
Well, I don't think that it has anything to do with Jeff having problems. Bobby, Joe,
This shit
do you
sucks. Can you hear me?
Bobby Joe, I have seen you have problems with your mic and popping in and off streams for months using StreamYard. Why are you blaming my channel?
That's true,
No,
Bobby.
I have
You can't
actually for the last month after I yelled at my phone company, I've had no problems at all. And FTK, you just had a problem, so be quiet.
But this is on
I don't mean to go. Can we please? I'm being actually. Let's be serious here. Is that saying Bobby Joe? We noticed Jeff. Anybody can do a welfare Jeff on him.
Is he okay?
Huh? Yeah.
That's what I kept on asking, but I guess nobody could hear me. Like,
because it's recent.
Well, you were breaking in and out, but now it is concerning.
Yeah, it's
like the question is, why did he have to mute?
Oh, he muted?
Yeah, he muted, and then why did he have to interrupt? Maybe he's trying to talk, but this restream shit is just too bootleg for him. Maybe.
No,
Jeff,
I don't
report
think
in.
so.
Jeff, report in. All right, folks, I'm gonna thank you for coming up. We're gonna go ahead and end the stream. If anybody has Jeff's contact information, please reach out to him. I don't know if he fell asleep or had a medical episode, but if anybody can talk seriously, can we please reach out to him and see if he's okay? I don't have his contact information. Bobby Joe, do you?
I try him on Instagram. That's it. I don't know. It sounded kind of like
I don't like to end a stream.
To me, it kind of sounded like he had to throw up. Like, I don't know. His voice changed, like, and then he was like, "I got to mute," or whatever. Like, I don't know. I hope he's all right. He probably just fell asleep.
That's likely. He does that frequently.
Yeah.
He just zones out and doesn't come back.
He's
lately,
Ed will just fall asleep and not say any more words frequently.
It's kind of bizarre, though, to be honest. That is bizarre, in my opinion.
He is our panel god, so
now you're having audio issues too.
Yeah, not a surprise because this shit's bullshit.
All right, you guys got to get your internet checked or something and microphones checked. Thanks for coming out tonight. And please go check out Damone Jimbo's comments about 15-year-olds paying for sex with adults. I thought it was very interesting. That needs to be called out. Let's see if anyone else will call him out. Bobby Joe, thanks for coming up. Hope we talked about a couple things. FTK, always not a pleasure. Jeff, I do hope you're okay. And this is Sam Clinton 2.0. You all have a great night. If anybody can get a hold of Jeff, please do so and send me a message if he's okay. Good.